My mother drove Usher. Usher rode my mother's school bus when he was at elementary school. Now I make hits for them. You know what the that mean to me as a man? My mother was driving school buses. Like, that's where I come from. Why would you want to hurt me? My thing is, I don't want to hurt nobody. If I heard you did some foul shit, I'm calling you. That's the problem with the game. I heard you did some foul shit, he gonna call everybody but you. Why you ain't call me and tell me what I did?
Right.
You don't want, because you want me to be the bad guy. You need me to be the bad guy. Then it start telling you your power. Then it start telling you your power that you have. And not only that, it's very important to say, I'm gonna take my glasses off. Nobody's a better scientist at this than me. That's why I can say what I say about Bow Wow, and none of these industry want to argue with me on record. That's why these whisper around me. They don't want to talk to me because I have a spirit. God has put something in me that y'all can't stop. I don't even know what it is, but I don't want to use it for bad. I want to help us. But y'all are intimidated by something that I have that you don't. And the only reason I can recognize it because when I was a kid, I felt the same way about some people.
How are you, sir?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on short notice. I appreciate this.
Let's get it, man.
Shout out to Jack. Appreciate you.
Manager's Playbook, man. I'm here. Let's go.
Thank you, sir. The gods.
I love what you're doing.
Likewise. Listen, I take a lot of inspiration for you, what you're doing as well, too.
Thank you.
But this is what I want. I want you to tell me, who is Ray Daniels?
You know, the funny thing is that when people, if you read my bio, when I talk about myself, I never say who I am is what I do. Like, I say, I'm a man that loves his family. You know, like, I actually can tell you who I am. I'm gonna tell you who I am. I am a storyteller for those of us who have been rejected by a community. I tell stories about the blueprint of progress by teaching you how to seek information, how to be accountable, how to be disciplined, so you can get what God wanted for you and your family. That's who I am.
That's a bar right there.
And that has nothing to do with music, but I do music, so let's talk music. But that's who I am. Like, I'm a man who loves his family. Like, I understand that this is what this is. I have perspective, and you know, I think music is like a hype thing, right? It's like it's like a dream for people. So people dream to be here. I want to do music. I want to do music. And I think because the dream is so bright that they forget that there's a reality that comes with it.
Yeah.
No one likes to live in.
Yeah.
I like to live in reality because that's how I win.
When you got into this business, did you realize, like, listen, we all kind of think about the success and the greatness of it and none of the negative stuff, but did you already have in mind this is going to be a part of it as well?
I didn't think about, so it's funny, I was telling my team last night, like, I feel like my career was a lot like Kobe's, right? It was the first 10 years, right? And then the second 10 years, right?
Okay.
So the first 10 years, all I was trying to, exactly, 8 and 24, all I was trying to figure out the first 10 years was how to survive. Like, how do you stay in it? Like, it's like, you don't even think you have a career. You don't even want to say you got a career. It's like, I'm in music, I'm trying to figure it out. So I spent the first few of my years just trying to learn how to be in it. And then you start realizing, like, I meet you and now you have a job, and I met you and damn, you was an intern and now you're this person. Right. So you start realizing the people who are coming up are the people who's actually the most committed to it.
100%.
So I'm just, so for me, when it came to music, my first 10 years was like, I wanted to learn how to make hits. That's all I wanted. Hits kept you in the business, teach me. That's why Theron and I, like, how we built our career. The second 10 years was how to last. Like, I don't care. I know how to make a hit now. How do you last? And that's the part that that really, to me, is the part that everyone should focus on. Because lasting is being respectful. Lasting is understanding that I might not be able to do something with you today, but maybe next year.
Yeah.
But not treating you like, fuck you, you ain't gonna put me on. How people come angry and all that other stuff. So yeah.
To that point, so you say, okay, the next 10 years, you're just trying to figure out how to last. But in order to be able to do that, you have to learn a lot of things first 10 years.
Business.
You have to learn the business.
So the first 10 years, I learned how to make records.
Yes. And for those who don't know,
okay,
because we've talked about this off camera a little bit, and I feel like this is, for those who don't know, they just think that you're a quote unquote talking head.
Yeah, people.
They don't know what your resume is, and you manage
one of the biggest writers, if not the biggest writer in the world.
And
not only do I manage him, I started managing him when he was working at Party City. So it's not like I called him when he was working. Like, I picked him, I told him to quit Party City. He called me when he tells a story about his baby mother, him working, and he can't see Cameron. And he called me like, Ray, I'm working every day and I'm still broke and I still can't see my daughter. I'm only have a job to feed my daughter and I can't even see her. I'm making just enough to pay child support. I was like, quit. Like, if me and you together every day, we ain't gonna be playing around.
Right.
So he quit. I picked him up from work every day. We had one goal. I pick him up, one goal. Let's make a fan. Let's make a fan.
Okay.
Let's
and
make a
not
fan.
necessarily general public fan, just
No,
somebody
like
within
a fan. No, like a fan. Like let's make a fan with like. It was always like a goal. Like, bro, let me tell you how me and Theron got on. This is how Timothy and Theron got on. So so Timothy worked, right? Timothy worked at Publix because they still had to pay their rent, right? And their rent was $1,000 a month. So Timothy worked at Publix and Theron would run around with me. So I would hit people.
Timothy's his brother.
Timothy's his brother, the other half of our city. So Theron would run around with me and I would hit people like, yo, Reese, I got something for you. Okay, what you got? I got a writer you got to check out. Give me 5 minutes. Mind you, I'm coming up. So it ain't like you know me. It ain't like you want to see me. It's like, give me 5 minutes, bro. I come in. I'm a talker. I know how to talk. I'm talking. Yo, man, how you been doing? Blah, blah, blah. Whole time it's a beat player. You don't know. Theron is right there. Yo, this is my writer. Theron like, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. He goes right there by the speaker. It's low. You think that you don't even know what he's doing. I'm like talking for a few minutes. Blah, 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 blah. Oh yeah, by the way, bro. Like I'm telling you, he's this. So he's like, yo, you're a writer, man. Let me hear what you got. Like, you want to play me something? Theron goes, I got some of this. What? What you mean? Like to this beat that's playing right here? Yeah, can I try some to this? I got some to this. He's like, you just came in here. Yeah.
Nice.
And he'll write a song. And they'll be like, and by the way, it might not be the best song.
Right.
But he'll write a song and people be like, come see me tomorrow.
Okay.
And every day it was
ready
like,
to work.
Let's get better. Let's get better. See, most of the time people in the music business are chasing money. Me and Theron, our only goal was chase greatness.
Yeah, the paper comes with the shit.
Greatness. Focus on greatness, the money follows. If you're focusing on the money, you're going to lose the money because money is chasing greatness.
Yeah.
So instead of chasing money, just be great. And exactly. So that's how we did it.
That was like, it was like, so I managed Jessie for a long time, Jessie R.A.Y.D.A.R.
Okay. I love her.
She's a songwriter.
Yeah.
First and foremost. And when we came to LA, we got, Theron Thomas was at BMG at the time and he flew us out. It was supposed to be like a couple of days, ended up being like 4 months.
Exactly.
Because all we did, we're like, okay, we're here. We don't know like how long we could stay here. And so it's like, let's go into the studio. And this is where like, I already knew she had the chops and like, you know, she's got a pen and she's always writing, but nobody in LA knew that. But within a week, everybody's like, there's this girl with an incredible voice who writes 3 songs a night. And she's just easy to work with because one thing that we learned early on is something that was like really pivotal for us in this business was make sure you always get invited back to the party, which means be easy to work with.
That's me too.
When it comes to the splits and all that, like you're like, let's take the L's.
Whatever, always.
In the beginning, take the L's. It didn't matter. It didn't matter.
It doesn't.
And then we did that because you're gonna build a leverage.
Because if you're really the truth,
they're
gonna keep letting you slide, and then eventually you're gonna have so much leverage that they're gonna realize we can't live without this guy anymore. How much does it cost to get you to be here every day? Like when I started building Theron's business, as I started getting there, that's what my approach. Like most people call and say, I want to work with your writer. Like I want to work with Theron. I'm like, cool, let's set up an audition. I don't call it sessions.
Okay.
I call it auditions.
Okay.
We're gonna audition for
when
you.
When the label would?
Yes. Label calls me, hey Ray, I got an artist I want Theron to work with. Now, don't get me wrong, if they say it's Beyonce, it's different, right? We're gonna stop and do what we gotta do. You know, depending on how it goes. But like if it's a new act or it's an act that, you know, we haven't heard of and they really want you. And it's like, yo, Ray. And by the way, there's so many of those, right? And it's like, Ray, I need Theron. I got this act. I'm like, boom, 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 it's gonna be big. And I'm like, that doesn't excite me. Because when the act when the act blows up in today's market, that usually means money for everybody. I mean, for the artist over everybody.
Including the songwriter.
Including the songwriter.
And the songwriter gets
a small piece. So you be thinking that you're a part of the mission. When they got the album release party, you're right there.
Right.
When they say you're right there, they shout you out. But when you look at the income, like bro, like if we ever tell you the story of Sierra Level Up.
Please tell it.
Oh my God.
I want to take a quick break in the pod right now and talk to you guys about something I think could be of importance to you. If you're listening to this pod and thinking, I could really use some personal guidance right now, and you're serious about building your career in the music business, I'm now offering one-on-one private strategy sessions. These are fully personalized, just you and me tackling whatever you need in your music career. Listen, this is the part where you might be thinking to yourself, who the heck is this guy? Well, I got over 17 years of experience in the music business, whether it was working as a manager with artists like Jessie R.A.Y.D.A.R. or working with major record labels like Island, Republic, Universal Music Group, or Sony, or producing content for high-profile artists like The Weeknd and Eminem, to producing content for elite brands like the NBA and Nike. I can definitely and confidently say I can help you map out your next moves. Whether you want to talk about structuring your team, navigating the industry, scaling your brand, or just simply learning how to make money in this music business, whatever's most relevant to where you're at, let's talk. You can now book for a fee a one-on-one session with me, an artist manager, and a podcast host, to help you figure out your next steps. Find the link in the description below to book a one-on-one consultation session. Also, big shout out to those who watch this podcast. Bringing value to an audience who seeks it is a blessing. I can't thank you enough for tuning in. I appreciate you. Now let's get back to the pod.
So Theron does Level Up. Right?
Fire record, by the way.
So Theron is in the studio with Sierra. He was like, you know, Sierra's biggest issue as like artist. And this is why I'm glad this is a great way to start, because so many people think I'm talking like a fan.
Right.
Like, I'm not a fan.
You're not a fan.
I'm a coach.
Yeah.
So when I see Sierra, you got to know I assess her like a coach, right? So the one thing that Sierra never really had was she never had ghetto around her. But we in ghetto season now. So how do you take a girl like Sierra, who is really like prissy, sweet girl, but she's not hood, right? And she's from the hood. So what do? You take the most hood record you can find. Fuck it up. Throw that ass in the circle, boom. So every ghetto black girl loves it, throw that ass in the circle. Theron is like, we're gonna give you the ghetto and shit. Level up. All the sauce is still on me. So he does the record. So when we do the record, I'm gonna just get into it. I hope I don't get in no trouble. But when we do the record, right, in the urban world, you have urban splits and you also have pop splits, right? So once we got to the pop world.
Not in the urban world. The pop world has pop splits.
The pop world has pop splits, I'm sorry. And the urban world has urban splits. Now here's the difference.
Yep, correct.
The urban world, you get paid what you did. So like the urban world, it's the beat is 50%, the lyrics are 50%. If you wrote all the lyrics, you get 50. If I did the beat, I get 50. If you wrote 20% of the lyrics or the hook and I wrote the verses, I'm getting 80, you're getting 20. I'm gonna get a bigger percentage. That's urban. If it's pop, we split it 50-50, no matter who does what.
Exactly.
Right? So when we did the splits, you know, Theron, they got the splits, we did pop splits, right? Because I'm like, they had urban splits. I'm like, I'm not, Sierra's gonna get the same amount as everybody else. Like, we're doing pop, right? She contributed, that's it, right? Because, you know, they said urban splits, like the producer had this, Theron had this, Sierra had this. And I'm like, no, everybody get even. No, we're not doing it.
Right. And
so we did.
There was 3 people on it?
3 people.
33,
it was 4.
So 25%.
Because the sample was the 4th.
Oh, okay. The loop?
The loop, that was the 4th. So that got 1/4 Theron, 1/4 Sierra, 1/4 JR. Now here's the thing. The record goes triple platinum. Independent, right? So can I pull out my phone? You might be doing some math. I don't mind. I mean, I just, so let me just do some math real quick. So if her record went 40 times 3, so on for streaming, based if triple platinum record, Sierra should have made 1.6 million
on the master.
On the master, which she owned.
Yes.
Now, let's take the if it was.
And where'd you get the 1.62 million from?
Because for every gold record, for every million streams, the label makes $540,000. So that's their cut. 540,000 goes out, and then if I had a let me do this real quick. 1, 2, 3 times 3. So here's how much money the publisher made on a triple platinum record.
Sorry, you mean on platinum? Yeah, not for every platinum.
Triple platinum.
Yeah.
Triple platinum. So this is I'm measuring. I'm actually using that song.
Yeah.
So the song made what 1.6 million for the master, and the publisher's 270,000. Right.
That's gotta be split.
That's crazy.
4 ways.
So now we gotta split that 4 ways.
Yeah.
But Sierra owns the master. Because it's independent. So Sierra made 1.6, and then she gets 1/4 for the 270. Now, don't get me wrong, she is the artist, and that's well deserved. But at the end of the day, it was Theron's idea. It was Theron's everything. And, you know, he probably made what? Let me do this real quick. I'm gonna just do this. Divided by So that means on a triple platinum record, this is how much Theron made for his 25%.
And that's $67,500.
A triple platinum record.
Crazy.
You got people out here with triple platinum records
From
thinking
streaming.
they rich. I'm rich. You just made, like, you know what I mean? People call me like, Ray, I got, my old assistant called me. Ray, I got a song on Beyonce album. Okay, dope. Okay, good for you, happy for you. So immediately I'm like, how much publisher you walk away with?
Right.
Because you ain't with nobody, they probably, and she probably walked away with, like 30, 25% on a record she wrote 50% of, because when you working with a superstar, they're gonna take a percentage. So she calls me, right? And she's like, Ray, I wanna do a pub deal. You know, she trusts me, she was my old assistant. Ray, I wanna do a pub deal. Okay, cool, no problem. That's good. How much money you want? 250,000. Oh, see how your face? I'm like, you got an album cut on a Beyonce album. Don't get me wrong. art-wise, it is very valuable.
Mm-hmm.
But money-wise, it is not.
There's no money in that
So
pipeline.
I'm like, your cut of it is probably worth like $23,000.
Yeah.
But you got the biggest cut on the biggest artist, and then you realize it ain't no money in it.
Mm-hmm.
So what you got to do? You got to work with everybody, or you got to start getting creative with how you structure deals.
Yeah, and that's because of streaming. That's because of streaming.
That's
so,
because
so you did that. You got creative structure in the deals. Do you mind going into
No, ask me anything, bro. That's why, like honestly, it's probably gonna be my last music interview ever.
I appreciate that. So then,
So
I'm
like,
gonna
you
make
ask
sure
me
this is a
anything
good
on
one
music.
over
I'm
here.
taking all my music interviews to my Patreon, but like that's why I want to talk to you, because I like that you're getting into the weeds.
Yeah.
You know, it's like people feel like they focusing on just the fluff. It's
No,
like,
I want to let's get to the
weeds
information, because that's how you learn, right? That's how I learn, how other people.
So here's how I manage Theron. Here's how I've done his business. So before you even get in the room with him, you got to sit in the room with me. Before, like, Atlantic calls, Ray, we got this girl, we think she's a star, her name is Lizzo, we want to get her on with Theron? And I'm like, send her to meet me first.
Like, how come?
Because so what happens is labels call people like me and say, hey, Ray, I got this new artist and I need you ASAP. You know how it goes. Right now, I need you to make a record. Oh, okay, cool. I love that. Perfect. Now I start asking a list of questions. They don't even know what I'm asking for. Hey, man, so how long y'all been working on for the project? Oh, about a year. Y'all been in the recording process for a year? How long the artist been working before they got to you, though? 4 years. Okay, cool. That's 5 years. Okay, how many records I got recorded? Hundreds. Okay, cool. That's when I'm flipping on them. So you got hundreds of records and you still calling me because you need the one?
Right.
So let's stop now.
You got the leverage there.
I just want them to see that the reason why they're running in the hamster wheel is because they haven't spoke to someone that does this.
That's smart.
So I'm like, so now I bring the artist. So I'm like, bring the artist in. So I heard the label's perspective. The label is they all they care about is money.
Mm-hmm.
So you just need to know from them as a manager. If you're a manager watching this, you need to know what they trying to. You have to reverse engineer the plan backwards. So somebody come to me and say, Ray, I got an artist. She's a star. Okay, cool. What do you need? Who is she? Oh man, I think she's gonna be the next Rihanna. Okay, cool. Let's reverse engineer. How did Rihanna start? Most people want to pick up where Rihanna's at right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, no. Where did Rihanna start? She's a Caribbean girl.
Mm-hmm.
So where did she start? In the Caribbean. Hey, Mr. DJ, come on the replay.
Which Chris gave.
By the way, exactly. Not even the biggest song in her catalog, probably the most forgotten song in her catalog, but probably the most important.
Yeah.
Because it established who she was.
Mm-hmm.
She's an artist from the Caribbean. So when people say, I want to be like someone, I'm always like, you got to reverse engineer. So labels call me and say, hey, Ray, I need this artist. Okay, cool. Who are they? They're this. Okay, perfect. That's all I need to know. You gave me the answer. They're at their best the new Missy Elliott. Cool. I know what that means. Now I meet with the artist. Now I'm like, they don't know who I am. They probably looking at me like I'm a producer. Like, why am I meeting with this guy? But all I'm doing with them is talking to them. So, because I know what the label wants. So what do you want?
And that's important.
I want to do
a lot
this.
of times the artist isn't aligned with the label.
They're not. And that's why everybody's so unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, what do you want? So I want to make this. Okay, cool. Well, your label wants to make this. So here's this. Let's add that piece to it, but let's make sure that we service because I'll tell the artist, as much as you think they suck, as bad as you hate them, they have to make the records work.
Mm-hmm. Regardless.
So you can hate your label. That's like hating your parents. They're your parents. Unless they let you go and somebody else, those are your parents. So when you're saying I hate the label, you're not understanding that these are the people that you need. So the reality is you need someone in the middle trying to figure out what's needed, what's missing, right? So what I do is I'm in the room and I'm like, so who are you? So now I'm like.
So you have the example of Lizzo. You were saying Lizzo.
You want me to use Lizzo?
Yeah,
perfect.
for sure.
I use Lizzo. So I meet with Lizzo. Lizzo comes to my office. Beautiful girl. The record Truth Hurts is out. I don't know. Mind you, this is just another person I'm meeting with that day. So she comes to the office and, shout out to R.A.Y.D.A.R for calling me like, yo, we got this girl. We think she's a star. And we just can't figure it out. I'm like, cool, no problem. So I go see, Lizzo comes to my office and I like artists when they're mad. Like I like to push buttons, right? So I'm like, what's the problem? What's going on? So Lizzo was like, so she says in the meeting, she says, Ray, my problem is that only gay white men come to my shows. Yeah. And I'm like, what? That's like, and see, what I want people at home to know is like my goal coaching. I go into, that's an interesting problem. Hold on, tell me more. How does that happen?
How does that happen?
So now I want to know more, right? So she gave me the end. My problem is that gay white men come to my show only. only. And we need this, I need more people. So I'm like talking to her. So she's running through her frustrations. Obviously, Atlantic got me in here, waiting around they got me in Atlanta, standing at some Airbnb, waiting for Rock City, Mike Will, or Metro Boomin to get open for me. Like, I'm tired, da-da-da. And I'm like, hold on, so you put music out? She's like, yeah. So I look at the Truth Hurts videos. I'll never forget, I'm sitting here, and I'm looking at the video right here, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, she's a fucking superstar. Oh my God. Because she was showing her body and she was a bigger girl.
Yeah.
And what I know as a consumer is that more women are shaped like Lizzo than they are like Beyonce, right?
Right.
Beyonce is who you strive to be. Lizzo's who you relate to, right? It's the cheat code. So I'm like, wow, like, okay. So I'm looking at the video. So I pause the video. I'm like, what's the problem? Because now I'm excited. I'm like, what's the problem? You are a star. And she's like, I don't know, Atlantic just got me waiting, and they keep telling me Mike McGain is gonna blow my records up, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, boom, stop. I figured it out. Why does Mike McGain know about you and not Majima?
And for context, who's Mike McGain?
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you that in the context. So I'm like, why does Mike McGain know you instead of Majima? And she goes, who's Majima? And I'm like, Majima is head of R&B.
Yes.
Mike McGain is head of pop.
All at Spotify at the
All
time.
at Spotify. These are, at the time, these are the people that, at this stage, these are the people that everybody in the world is trying to get to, right?
Yes.
Mike, Najima, Tuma, if they said it,
all
it
good
was
people.
golden.
100%.
And they didn't even
this
care.
This is before TikTok, too,
I was about to
right?
say, they didn't even care about the power. It was just like, nah, I just have influence. I'm going to tell them that.
Yeah.
So she says Mike McGain. So I go to her. I think I know what the problem is. And I'm like, why does Majima not know you? And she's like, who's Majima? I said, Majima is a girl who would love you, who looks like you, who would adore you. And she was like, Ray, I don't know if you know this, but I'm a pop artist. No, you're not. That's the problem. That was the problem. You say you're a pop artist, you can't get mad when only gay white men are showing up to your store.
Right.
You are a black artist first.
Yeah.
Black people need to know you there.
Yeah.
And she was like, no. So she was like, Ray, I'm popping. I'm like, I love doing this with artists because I'll argue as facts. Like, my teaching style is a mirror. I don't convict. I show. I show you, and if you can't see it, then you're not on my level, or you're not on the level you need to be on to win anyway. I'm like, Ruse, if you can't see, are you fat? You can't see you've gained 50 pounds. You don't see it? No, I'm looking right at myself. Okay, just keep going until you can see it, then you'll do something about it. So I'm like, Lizzo, name the most famous black female artist in the world. Because fame is pop, right?
You said that to Lizzo? Or
I said to Lizzo.
Yeah.
So she started naming them. And she goes, Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, Rihanna. And at the time, Cardi B was really on her way. Bodak Yellow was taking off. And she was like, Cardi is coming. And I'm like, what do they all have in common? They all ghetto as hell. They're not just regular, they're ghetto regular. Like, let's be clear. Beyonce wasn't winning when she was saying, Halo, and that Sasha Fierce shit. Beyonce started winning when she's like, riding on that wood, swerving on that wood. That's when she became Beyonce. That's when she became Beyonce. That's when she blew up and became that. Because, I mean, I know so much stuff about the music business. Like, I hate to like go into it, but like, I know Columbia didn't believe in Beyonce at some point. Because the 4 album came out, and by the way, it killed it for black girls. That was the Black Girl Weddings album.
Yeah.
Love on Top and Party. We loved that album as black people, but I go into Columbia and I'm talking to one of the top A&Rs, and he says, man, we need some records for Beyonce. She's struggling. Bro, Maurice, I look around like I'm looking for.
That's crazy. Where's the cameras?
Where's the cameras? You said something bad about, you said Beyonce needs help in a Columbia office? I'm like, oh, they really getting bold. Yeah. You bold to say that.
Yeah.
Beyonce, a few months later, just drops that Beyonce album. She does like 700,000, 800,000, changed the entire music industry. She changed the music industry that day.
With that surprise album.
Let me tell you why. Because she didn't give the audience a chance to think. They wanted to be a part of the conversation. So usually artists are like, drop your album.
And she was the first one to do that,
She was the first one to do it.
Yeah.
She broke. Like, there was like the mold was broken, because then you realize you don't need a hit when you are one.
Yeah.
You the hit already. So all we got to do is, that's why I don't think she makes the greatest records, because she doesn't have to. The audience loves her because everything she does, she's the sauce that makes the song better.
You're right.
You feel what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, of course.
So like, back to Lizzo. So we were talking. So I'm like, Beyonce's ghetto. I'm like, Rihanna, ghetto. Nigga smoking weed. Shut up, nigga. Cardi is really ghetto. Nicki looks like Babs. When they try to make black women look ghetto in that movie, big titties, big butt, red color, that's Nicki. She's like Babs. but she's still the biggest in the world. Because when other people see us, they come to us for our experience. If those white men that came to your show, they knew they was coming to a black girl that plays a flute show. They wanted to experience that. That's what they was coming for. They wasn't, so a lot of the times we think we have to code switch for the audience. The audience switches codes for us.
Yeah.
Me and you might listen to Hov and be rapping and live word, turn my music high, and then you might play some stuff that make up when we was kids and call my baby on the phone. Got to get a message to let, like we might, you know what I mean? Like music brings us together, but it takes us different places.
Right.
But the most important thing is that where it started, the people know where it came from. And they have to know it came from a black person because you're black. Don't let them people see this record and think they had a pop person and you walk in this black girl, they're like, what the hell? Who fooled me?
Right.
Be black. Be extra black. That's what you are. Be extra. And this is a trick that America has taught black people that I want to stop. America has made it. Every time a black person is there, it's ghetto.
Right.
Yeah, I was in Dubai a few weeks ago. Everybody smokes hookah.
Yeah.
Old people, young, everybody smokes hookah. Everywhere you go, it's not ghetto in Dubai. As soon as black people do it, it's ghetto. Oh my God, it's ghetto. But I really think that the ghetto is the coolest place in America. So that's kind of like the mind fuck. They say it's ghetto, but once it's ghetto, it exploded. Once the ghetto got it, it's the best thing in the world. So it's almost like, how do you get the ghetto kids to like you? You tell them it's not for them. Oh, I didn't make this for y'all. This for kids in this one. Now ghetto kids like, I want to do it. And now they're so ghetto. Meanwhile, that shit is rising. So I'm saying, so once you start understanding like how people know how to say words that trigger people and make people think, you start realizing it's just semantics. Lizzo, when you come in the room and say you're a pop artist, you basically told every black person, I'm not here for y'all. If you come in the room and say you're a black artist who makes pop music, now black people are like, well, I want to hear this. And white people are like, that's for me too.
With everything that you're saying right now, I'm curious. Why haven't you managed an artist? Because I feel like you could take an artist to stadiums.
That's a great question, because I've tried. Then you start realizing that artists talk back. Artists got a lot to say.
Sure.
And what artists don't understand is they're a product. The same as that shirt on you got on. You bought that shirt, right?
Yeah.
Was anybody promoting it? Was anybody saying, yo, Mauricio, it's the best show ever, you gotta get the show? Bro, nobody. You saw a shirt, you like, you bought it.
Yeah.
That's how music is consumed. You hear a song, you like it. You see an artist, you like, I like that person. But artists be thinking, you didn't push me hard enough. Nobody pushed that shirt you got on, you still bought it.
Right.
You still bought it. Why you buy it? Because you liked it. See, the problem is artists don't want to take accountability and accept that maybe who they are is just not good enough for what they want to be. So instead of somebody saying that, they got to blame it on people like us. You know what's so crazy? I'm only here because I try to make artists. You know why I'm here? I was sitting in a room with artists, and I'm like, it's so easy to break artists. I think it's the easiest. I think it's easier to break artists now than ever.
Tell me why.
Because it's not about music anymore. It used to be just about music.
Right.
Music was the only product.
Yep.
I had to make you go to the store.
Yep.
Buy it. You had to get out your car, park, get out the car. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Compared to streaming, it's just like, yo, listen to it at your leisure.
Right.
Remember, when you buy something, where people spend their money is where they focus on.
That's
the most.
transactional right there, right? Because we're not thinking about it. It's $10 a month.
No, we're not. We're just thinking about it like, I got access to it, so I'll do it when I want to.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Wayne just dropped the album. Everybody's like, who's gonna listen to it? Okay, cool. You gotta want to. You know what I mean? Like Wayne just dropped the album. It's like now it's like you gotta want to get into it. But my only thing I'm saying is,
because it's always on your device, right? So it's not immediate.
It's not urgent anymore.
Right.
So music is not urgent anymore. So now you gotta look at it through the lens of like I piss people off when I say Kai Cenat is an artist. And people are like, no, he's not.
I was actually having this conversation with literally like 2 days ago when we were talking about who's a superstar right now when it comes to music. And I stopped everybody in the room and I said, you know who's a superstar? Kai Cenat's a superstar. No argument.
No, you know why he's a superstar?
He shut down New York City. Was it like a ride of 15,000 people?
Can I tell you why he's a superstar? Can I tell you what he does that superstars don't do?
He's always on. I mean, like, that's how I look at it.
Superstars are like, I don't have an album to promote, so I don't want to go talk to nobody. Well, I'm gonna do an interview with you. I ain't got nothing to promote.
Right.
Who cares? We're tired of being promoted to. We want to know you.
Yeah.
Can we just get to know you?
Yeah.
So for me, an artist can, like, it's a record going crazy right now called Affirmations, right? And it's just this dude who just dances to the beat, to the song, and it's one influencer and one artist, and he's dancing to the beat. And I just saw footage of them performing it together because it's blown up, because this one guy just dancing to the song every day, right? So it's like there's so many ways to entry point to music now that all you got to really do is just put yourself out there.
Right.
Like, that's all you got to do. Like, just like, there's so many people who are bigger than their music. Like, French Montana is bigger than his songs, right? Like, well, no, actually, he's the opposite. French Montana songs are bigger than him, right? Like, so you know, in the business, like some artists like have a song that's bigger than them, and the profile or whatever. You got some like Beyonce is bigger than all her songs. So it's weird when people hear that because they think you dissing somebody, but it's not. This is shit that everybody knows.
Yeah,
in the business at least, like. Because if me and you got an artist and we got an artist and like, yo, we got this young girl from LA. We need to make sure LA knows she's from there. We looking around like, who can get on the record? We're not thinking Lil Wayne. He's older, right? It's like he's been around. She's 18. He's been rapping since she's been around. So you're like, who can we get? Who's hot from LA? Who's on Kendrick album? You know what I mean? So that's how we do it in the business. We're always looking for what makes sense for the next chapter and what can we add for the next chapter. So
it's funny because even now when you're talking about that, it's like, who can you put on the record with this artist who's from LA? I actually immediately start to think to myself, wait, hold on a second. The music doesn't get consumed the same way that it used to. So what I'm thinking of, who's a streamer in her world that's in LA that she could connect with and vibe with?
Oh, that's that. I want to do that too. I want to do that too. But to me, that's just like, that's how I think. Like, let's get a rapper from LA. Since we want to make sure, right? Let's shoot the video in LA.
Yeah.
And when we go do our promo, let's talk to the
always make sure
LA.
like what city you're from, you shoot the video in that city. Don't shoot it in another
Always
city.
shoot in the main city. Make sure the background is there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Just make sure like, dog, me and Theron, so people don't know this, man. Me and Theron, we have this thing. Anytime our records drop, I'm like, that's gonna work. That's not gonna work. And I've always been right.
With the records that he's written on.
Because we got a lot of records drop. I'm like, and that's how I think. That's how I think. Theron will be like, yo, you heard such and such new single? And I don't call him. And he'd be like, it ain't gonna work.
That's what he'll write back?
Yeah, no, he'll just call me and be like, it's not gonna work. And I'm like, how you know?
How come?
Because I think that my gift is I'm a super fan, deep down. Like I'm a super fan,
clearly.
Right? Deep down, right? So I'll never forget, I woke up, Level Up dropped, and I saw the video, and I said, she's out of here. That's out, she's gone.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if it's major or independent, it's out of here.
That record.
Right? And I could tell you why. And then it's so funny because then I don't want to pour this on Sierra, but Sierra had this record that we did called Jump. And Sierra, don't be mad at me. This is how I think. This is in Manager's Playbook. But she did this record called Jump. And I knew that wasn't going to work.
Okay.
And I was like, that's not going to work. And I think Jump is a great record. I just know it's not going to work. Why it's not going to work, Ray? Because the first video, Level Up, only had one wardrobe.
Okay. Only
had one scene. So it's repetitive. You got to remember, we're not in the 15 minutes of fame world no more. We're in the 15 seconds of fame. Yep. So that means your music video damn near has to be a TikTok music video. So Level Up, one scene, girls dancing, level up, like killing it, right? But it was consistency. Jump, Sierra had 14 wardrobe changes.
It's like a classic looking music video.
Exactly. So and she shot it in LA. So what happens is that now it's the Hot Wheels bouncing for it, and I'm like, it's not gonna work. As soon as it dropped, I told Theron, and I was like, Theron was like, it's a smash. I said, it's not gonna work. I promise you. How's not? I'm like, it's too many wardrobe changes. The audience is now watching everything full time now. They don't watch like that. They're watching in increments. So if they see it this increment, that, they just like, it's too much for them. You got to be consistent. You got to drive it home. So when our records come, like we have a formula how we see records. Like I'm like, oh, that's not gonna work. I can tell you it's not gonna. If she would have shot it in Atlanta with some Atlanta kids doing the dance, because right now it's already kind of pop. So you need to show the ghetto is for them too.
Right.
It goes back to most races value the ghetto's opinion. The only people that don't value the ghetto's opinion are people from there. Because we hate it. We want to get out of there, right? So you're not even understanding that there's a psychological. That's why I always say, don't get tricked out of your spot. When you did the first one, it was just right there. So you do the other one, it was just 14 wardrobe changes. So artists be always trying to show their art. We're not in the art time anymore.
Right.
We're in a time of consumption at the shortest. You got 5 to 10 seconds from everybody.
But that becomes a hard conversation to have with the artist.
And see, this is why I'm not mad at Timbaland for doing the AI artist, because what people don't understand.
You see that last night?
I was on the Zoom with him.
Oh, you were on the Zoom?
I mean, he posted me. I made a video defending him.
That's right. Yeah. I saw that video. I understand. I get it.
But my thing is this: is that
well, you get it when you're in the music business.
No, let me explain. I want to tell everybody at home this. You got to hear this. We're the only people who are expected to come to work, show up, build an amazing business, don't own it because that's vulture-like, right? Don't take a bigger percentage because that's vulture-like. And it's like our dreams don't matter.
But that's the biggest finesse, I think, that that's a record label finesse, if you ask me, major labels. That has nothing to do with anything except all the artists all of a sudden think that managers and people who have built the business from the ground up shouldn't have that equity in the business. It doesn't work like that in any other industry except for this business.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's vulturous.
And the reason
like
why
vultures. And you're like, hold on a second. I've been here from day one. We've built this together. I haven't gotten paid anything in terms of commissions, right? But then now when the record label comes and they want to cut a check for $1 million or $2 million, and they're going to take 80%, right? And or they're going to take the masters
and the back, everything.
Yeah. And then you're going to get a 20% royalty, which they call 20 points to like make it seem like it's not percentages. How is that not? Now people are starting to understand that that's not the right move. So if you're going to go and do a label deal, go do a licensing deal, right?
Exactly.
Right?
Sure.
50-50s. But still, it's just like, and me and Lex, we had that conversation of 50-50, and not every single not every single situation is treated the same.
Yeah.
But really, there should be equity in the business because that's how you know your incentives are aligned.
Bro, you know why the business is dying right now? You know why it feels like a ghost town?
Here?
Because, just period. The business feels like a ghost town. You want to know why? Because all the good execs are gone.
I still think that it's actually it's the best time to be in the business.
No,
to break.
No, the best time, of course. But that's speaking from the people who trying to come up level.
Right.
Yeah, if you that, it's easy. It's the best time. But I'm speaking from inside the building.
Okay, yeah. Tell me more.
Like, what you mean, like?
No, you said why? So why is it a ghost town? Like, what's going on with it?
Because the great execs are no longer there. Like, they don't even have nobody teaching the artists no more. It's like it's research. So labels are businesses like anybody else. Their only goal is to save money and make money, right? So,
and for those who don't know, when you say research, that means looking at data.
That means data. That means data,
yeah.
Right? So like I'll put it like this. Okay, let me break it down like this. When I worked at Epic back in 2013, you had to love it. Don't get me wrong. Something might have been popping up, going crazy, but you had to love it. Because you go in the room to play it for R.A.Y.D.A.R, you had to love it. When I started working at Interscope, that's when it started changing. When you start noticing the things we were bringing in were more what was working rather than what we thought. So then I started looking at it like, why is the research guys really run the company? They're the ones that tell us what to do. Yeah. So then it was weird. So what happens is the research guys now run the companies, and the guys that actually have taste that can say what I just said about a video for Sierra, my great friend, but I could tell you, like, I wish you would have called me because I'd be like, don't do that, right? We live in a micro time. You went too big. They don't like big no more. They like small. They like the grind. DIY. They like to know that you did it yourself.
Yes.
Once you got with a major label, you went big. That's how we were taught from where we come from. But you could go so big that you could lose the influences down here. And the problem is that people down here run the world.
Yeah.
They run the world. That's what everybody's paying attention to.
I'll give you an example over here, and I hope I don't get in trouble when I say this, but when we did a deal, so we had a crazy bidding war for Jesse. I've talked about this numerous times on the podcast, but one thing I never talked about really is when we did the deal with UMG, it was like a 6 months bidding war between all the majors. We finally did the deal with UMG, and they were pressing us so hard to do a press release. And I said, we were like, we don't need the press release.
Not right now.
And we're like, we're not trying to hide anything. If anybody's going to ask us if we did a deal, for sure, let's do, like, that's fine. Nobody's trying to hide that we're at a major label. But listen, if you all of a sudden say we did a deal with the major label, and that starts to become public and all that, it's like, fans are not going to give a fuck about that. And all of a sudden, you're going to start to look like this is corporatized.
Let me tell you what happened.
And I pushed so hard for that. And
I'm glad you said that. I tell you that every time an artist come in my room.
There wasn't an article on Hits about it. There wasn't anything in Billboard about it. There was like always these like conversations about like where is she going to sign. But we just said, we're not doing a press release.
I tell you, the minute you put it out there, this is what you do.
And that's
you turn now you're on the clock.
Yeah, exactly.
Now everybody watch you now. Oh, you got signed. What's going to happen? We looking.
Yeah.
Sands running out. Ain't nothing working yet. What's going on? And then you all of a sudden mad at the world. When you listen, let me tell you why managers are shit, because the first job of a manager is to manage expectations. That's the first job of a manager, to manage expectations.
Yeah.
If you can't manage expectations, you can't be a good manager in this business. I want you to understand what's coming, how it's going to come, the way it's going to look, and you got to be ready. Because it's like I always say, like, say if I got somebody $1 million, right?
Yeah.
That sounds good. But what if they expecting 7? They pissed. But let's say they was only expecting 100,000 and I got them $1 million. Now they happy.
Right.
Same million.
That's so true. That's
different
so true.
expectations, different results,
That's
different
so true.
anger, different everything. So the first job of a manager is to manage results. But in this new world we live in, like me and you have both said 3 times, I hope I don't get in trouble. That's the world we live in. I come from R.A.Y.D.A.R. He said, that shit is whack. And the artist would be like, okay, what I got to do to be better? Now it's like, oh my God, you offended me. Why would you? And I'm like, dog, this is my problem. This is what I fucking do.
Mm-hmm.
This is how I feed my family.
Right.
The same way when you on stage, you feed your family. That's how I feed mine. You don't even want me to talk about what I did because you don't want me to feed my family. That's what's the problem with the game. That's why I said I don't want to be in it no more. Because I don't want to be in the business where I could brag on it. You could brag on everything you did, but I can't say the word what I did because it might fuck up your business.
Well, what's crazy about it is it's the most collaborative business in the world, but nobody could talk about it.
Bro, let me
Until
say
now, but you've changed a lot of that though, because you definitely put that out to the world, which many people are grateful for. To be
I'm gonna
honest
say this
with
to you,
man.
We just talked about something. Let me show y'all something. Let me get you just really just trigger something. I didn't even think about it like this. We just talked about urban splits and pop splits. When it's white people pop, everybody eats. If 8 of us did the song, 8 of us sharing. When it's black folks, y'all figure out what y'all giving each other. That's how we were taught. I didn't start getting rich until I adopted other ways of doing business. When I started realizing that they saved the bullshit for us, we did this record on Nicki Minaj only. Nothing about Chris Brown, Nicki, Drake. It was a big moment, Lil Wayne. We did that record, right? If I would have did that record with an urban producer, I probably would have got 5%.
Dr. Luke.
I did it with Dr. Luke.
Pop splits.
Pop splits. It was mind-blowing.
Yeah.
I do it with Dr. Luke.
He's not fucking around. Dr. Luke.
First, shout out to Luke. Luke don't fucking play.
Yeah.
Luke said it's 7 writers on the record. We split it 7 ways.
Yeah. And he could have been the producer and said, I'm taking 50%.
No, he did. He could have, but he literally,
he
got 13%. Everybody got 13%. We walked away because I had 2 writers with 26%. I walked away with 26% of a hit record. If I would have did that on the urban side, I would have walked away. I would have fought. I would have had to fight to get 10%.
Yeah.
So what I noticed was I'm like, damn.
I didn't know about pop splits either until like about a year into the business.
But they don't teach us that.
Well, Jeremiah Thomas, who's black, he taught me about that because he goes, because it was like a pop record and then I just remember always having to negotiate splits. And then when it was a pop record, he's like, no, it's pop splits. I was like, what does that mean? He's like, everything down the middle.
Everything down the middle. We ain't got to argue no
I
more.
was like, oh, so if it's like 5 writers, 4 writers, 6 writers, just everybody gets equal amount? He's like, yep, that's it.
Now watch this. You know how many big hit producers on the urban side I sat in the room with and said, yo, why don't you do pop splits? It'll be better. And it's like, I wish the fuck I would share my money with some of y'all niggas. I'm getting my 50%. And it's like, that's why you're begging the biggest writers to come in the room. See, pop splits also is great for the songwriter.
Yeah.
Because you already got to fight to get paid.
Yeah.
And at least you know you're going to get your publishing and it's going to be done right. And you ain't got to say, I wrote 4 words. But here's the best part about pop splits. Well, I just went through that, but here's the best part. The best part is that if all of us in this room are writing a record and we only get what we get, that means we all trying to force ourselves on the record.
Right. Yeah.
That means now it's not about the record. It's about me trying to get on the record so I can eat.
But
if we all in the room, and it's 8 of us, we making the same record, and we know we getting the same amount, you might step up. I'm like, yo, let Maurice do it. He got it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, let Ray do it now, because now I go, oh, Rocky got an idea. We don't care, because this is our baby that we all own equally.
Right.
Compared to urban splits, it's like, what did you do?
That's a good point.
That's how they treat us. So for me, once I started realizing this, I was like, oh, shit. So it's so hard to change these habits, but somebody got to do it. So that's when I start talking. And and it's still crazy because you still got to worry about people being pissed off. The fact that I said that thing about, hopefully it's not, but when I said about Sierra, somebody can be mad at that. I hope she's not, but somebody can. But guess what? In the world that I live in, now that I said that, guess what I just did? If 100,000 people was watching this, 100,000 people are going to go watch both videos to see the difference.
Right.
So I helped you regardless.
Yeah.
But you're so
absolutely.
busy saying, so it's weird. So artists want to be perfect and streamers, they just want to be themselves. And artists want to be perfect. Winning. And that's why they're winning. Yeah. And that's why artists are losing, because they want my makeup and glam. If you're a streamer, girl, you don't need no fucking makeup because turn the camera on. You know what I'm trying to say? Because you don't care. But my makeup and glam, and I need this. And what Lex said was so right, because people get with you and artists really be thinking they are kids. Like, man, I want to go to that concert. Can you give me tickets? Nigga, you are not my son. Oof. Yo, Ray, I got my rent due. I don't have to pay your rent. That's not my job.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
there's more responsibilities.
More responsibility. So now I only get 20% because that's how the law is. I'm fucked out if I want more. And now I got to give you everything I got. And if I ask you to give me some return, I'm the vulture. I quit. I'd rather be the artist myself. Watch me talk. Fuck y'all.
And that's what you got.
And that's what I'm doing.
That's what you're doing.
Dog, that's why I'm talking.
Is that why you did it?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't even why I did it. It was kind of like inadvertently. Like, artists would come into my office saying, Ray, I want to work with you. And I'm like, how about this? Ray, I want to sign to you. That's why I changed my company from R.A.Y.D.A.R, because that's what Theron is with, R.A.Y.D.A.R, to L.Y.I, the agency. Because so many people would say, I want to be on R.A.Y.D.A.R. And I'm like, nah, I got to find another entryway, another door to my company, right? So I create L.Y.I, leverage your influence. And now people are coming to my office and I'm like, yo, this is all you got to do to win. I'm like, you want to know how to win? Stories. I said, in the world of 52 million songs being uploaded a year, think about that for a second. And this is why labels are dumb too. Think about that for a second. And 52 million songs are uploaded per year. How do your songs stand out? You gotta have some kind of story.
You gotta have a story.
Gotta have something around it. Gotta have something around it for me to say, I wanna watch it. I just told a story. You just mad that the story wasn't positive, but it's still a story that makes people listen. They might look and be like, no, it's not that bad. Who cares?
Right.
But the label's problem is that they don't know how to tell stories. So here's the label problem. They had control of all of the good shit. So they had control of like Best Buy. They had you walk in Best Buy, they had the signs, you knew. Now,
brick and mortar retail shelf space.
They had activations there. Now it's just streaming.
Exactly.
Now we just upload it and we put it up there and we hope that people are gonna come listen to it. But the reality is that, first of all, I'm a music lover. I don't even listen to music no more. Because when I go to Spotify, all I do is go to my old shit.
So do I.
I don't want to hear the new shit. It's too many new songs coming out. And it's like, I don't want to hear it.
It's got to be rare for me.
Exactly. So it's like, so how do you get someone
I'm a fan of the artist that I've already know for
so how do you become a fan? See, I'm a fan of you because of your music. I'm a fan of you because of what you said. Like, I love Hov because of how smart he is and how he thinks. And he taught me more than any person in this world. I always say I'm a millionaire because of Jay-Z. Because he gave me the game. He gave me the game. He was the nigga that was giving you the blueprint.
And you're doing them like that with this Bow Wow conversation, bro?
Okay, so I'm not.
He made you the million and you are now doing.
So I said, I'm glad
what do you mean?
I'm glad you brought that up. So let's talk about it, right? I don't think anybody in Jay-Z's crew, including Jay-Z, considers Jay-Z a superstar.
I don't think, I think
they look at him as that nigga, cool, can rap his ass off, smart businessman, but superstar, I would say no, because he had to work too hard to get it. Think about this. Jay-Z was rapping for fuck. Jay-Z is older than Tupac and he's older than Biggie. He's a year younger than LL Cool J.
Right.
LL Cool J got on when he was 16. Jay-Z got on, Biggie and them got on when he was 21, 19, 20. Jay got on when he was 28.
26,
27, 28.
Yeah.
Why? He was a man already. Because the world didn't want him. That's why he was trying to do the fucking Hawaii Sofa fame, then Big Willie style. Then he was trying to do the fucking the shiny suit era. And then he goes from that to the streets is watching. And then he realized, let me just be me. See, Jay-Z is more of an alchemist story than anything else. Bow Wow was just pour water on it, get out the way. He was Jack and the Beanstalk. Now, don't get me wrong, it probably played out longer and shorter, but Jay-Z, it was different.
So let's put context to what this, because this thing is blowing up in the last little bit.
For sure, it's crazy.
Okay, so what's the context of this here? Because the way that I understood it at first is you're saying at a certain moment at the height of each artist.
So I'm glad, by the way, thank you for asking me that, because people are so quick to attack what I'm saying. How did y'all even get there? So here's what we were talking about. We were asking somebody on my show about their top 5 rappers, right?
Yeah.
And this guy it's Mickey Fats. Shout out to Mickey Fats. He has a school where he teaches MCs.
Okay.
So I'm like, man, I'd love to talk to you. You got this shit to a science. So I'm like, okay, if Jay, because Jay-Z is his favorite rapper of all time, same as me. So I say to him,
likewise,
give me hip hop's top 5 superstars.
Okay.
And he's like, okay. And I'm like, so we both said Kanye West, right?
Yeah.
Because Kanye might not rap as good as Hov, but he's a bigger star. You can't help but look at this dude. He's crazy, but he's a star, right? So Kanye West, LL Cool J. LL Cool J been a star. Like, that's star power hip hop. He ran in the 80s, right? So then we run it down the list, and I go Bow Wow. And they was like, Bow Wow, he wasn't fair. He wasn't a superstar. I said, Bow Wow, this people bigger than Jay-Z. What you talking about? And that's how shit hits me. But I was really using Bow Wow to compare him to my GOAT to show that's how sure I am about it. I'm telling you, he's better than the person that I like the most.
But of all time? No.
I was saying Bow Wow is, yes, I think Bow Wow is a top 5 superstar of all time. I think
so. Just because I don't want to strawman what you're talking about. I want to make sure. I want to make sure that I strawman it. It's my understanding of it is you're saying at the height of Jay-Z or the height of Bow Wow. Bow Wow's height is bigger than Jay's, is what you're saying.
Yes, he had way more pandemonium, way more fanfare, way more everything, because he was a bigger superstar. He was more known.
I think there's an argument to be made there for sure in favor of what you're saying. You can't take away what Bow Wow.
That's all I was saying.
But if we're talking about, overall in terms of career,
of course, I would rather have Jay's career.
Yeah,
of course.
But the level of stardom that is taken place over the last 30 years is incredible. That's what I'm saying. That's a superstar.
I agree. To me, I think Jay-Z, what he more is he's just a super brand. right? I think Jay-Z was smart. He said, I'm going to focus
And he was
on
talking
rock.
about it since Reasonable Doubt.
No, I know, but
He's like,
no, but he's a
You
super,
feel the ambiance. Y'all just rhyme. Like, he's just, you know what I'm saying?
listen, he's my favorite rapper of all time. Like,
I know you preface this you preface this everywhere that we talk about.
And by the way, he's such my favorite that I famously say he's the top 5, and then I start at 6. That's how great he is to me.
That's good. That's good.
But that doesn't take away from
That's
the
good
fact
context.
that he has not had girls passing out, pushing people to the front because he's not had that. He's not had people see him and say, oh my, he hasn't had that. It's a famous video of Jay-Z walking through Paris, and some guy's like, who is this guy? Who are you? And Jay-Z's like, who are you?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if that was Bow Wow at his peak, they would be like, Daddy, that's Bow Wow. You know what I'm trying to say? He was just more of a star. Jay-Z was more of a business. Bow Wow was more of a star. Okay.
I've been at Rock Nation brunch a couple of times. And Hov, just Hov.
Everybody waits to take a picture with him.
It's not even that. I remember, so we were at the bar, it's Angie Martinez, myself, Jesse Bryan, and Angie's like, yo, did you go say what's up to Jay yet? And we're like, no. She's like, oh, come take you. Cool. He was kind of chilling. This was when it was in New York.
Yeah.
And he was just chilling on the corner over here. There's a lot of commotion, obviously, because Jay's around. As soon as he took 5 steps, the move, the room, the dynamic, everybody shifted.
Oh, no,
like
no.
The whole energy shifted.
No, bro, no.
I've never seen that in my entire life.
I'm
to
glad
this
you
day.
said that, because when him and Beyonce walk into the fucking Grammys.
Yeah.
If you were at the Grammys,
the whole room.
The room moves when they move. You know they're in the room because the room shifts with them. And that's today.
That's not a superstar?
No, I think that's a super couple. I think that it's him and his wife. I think that of course she's who he is. And I think that people, they are everybody's goals and everybody wants to be them. And I think that he's more that. I don't think people look at Jay for superstardom. I think they look at Jay for like a plan. How do I win? How do I get rich? Not, Jay, how do I be the biggest star on earth? I don't think Jay can teach you. I don't think you can teach a star, bro. I think stars are born and you have to be, it's in you. I just don't like, and it's like, and to be honest with you, the reason why I did that is because if you subscribe to my YouTube, everybody on my YouTube is like, every time Jay name come up, Ray say he's perfect. And I'm like, he's not perfect, but we're talking about MCs, I'm gonna say that. But we're talking about stars, okay, that's a little different. Now everybody's like, how would you say that? I'm like, well, what about how 100 times that I said he was the best? I just don't think he was a star. I don't think Jay-Z is a superstar. I think he's a businessman. I think DMX was a way bigger superstar than Jay-Z.
But so his perspective on that. The story, I think Jay's such a big superstar that when he talks, the world stops.
Of course.
Nobody was talking about X the way, I'm not taking anything away from X.
For sure.
X, okay? But nobody was talking about the level of how he can make a room cry, scream, go crazy until Hov told that story on the barbershop. Or right?
Yes, that's true. But here's the thing.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah.
Like, and
crazy.
Crazy.
And by the way, what did Jay say? Jay said he made me a better performer. That's why we're going to acapella the hell out of this. Yes. Because so what Jay was doing, guys, he was using his superpower. So I get so mad at people when they argue with me because it's like, dog, Superman couldn't do what Iron Man can do. That don't mean they both ain't great. But if my job is to assess superheroes, I'm gonna say, well, who you rather be, Superman, Iron Man? Well, Iron Man at least get some chicks. I'd rather be Iron Man. Superman, it's like, how dare you, Crystal? It's like, oh my God, yo. The real issue to me, I think, is that no one can have an opinion in 2000.
No, and I do get the perspective that you're coming from because, like I said, I was like 14 or 15 when Bow Wow came out, and I was in high school in Canada, and I heard that those records on radio, on repeat when radio like really mattered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's another thing. Radio mattered.
Really
he was
mattered.
At the peak of when it all mattered, and
Jay had his records too, though. Jay had his records as well, but I get the argument. I get the perspective.
I'm gonna tell you this. So we were talking yesterday randomly. Like I said, I don't know why this Bow Wow thing is a big deal.
Yeah,
I'm at the radio.
And I never talk about this stuff on this podcast. We always go into like the music business. I'm at the Hov's my ghost. So
me too.
Yeah,
Mine too. I'm at the BT radio room. Everybody
wants to talk to you about it.
And then, so mind you, me and Bootleg Kev are arguing about it, and Jermaine walks by. So Bootleg is like, come here, man. You got it. Ray said this. And Jermaine literally says, I'm not going to get in a Ray argument because he know what he's doing, but he did say this. He said, my verbatim, he said, Bow Wow came in 2000.
Yeah.
Bow Wow came before Chris Brown, B2K, everybody. He came before everybody. He was the first superstar in today's time. Nobody had 5 years of a run like him from 2000 to 2005. Like Bow Wow, he was Mr. 106 in Park.
They made the show because of him.
Yeah,
that's the rumor.
JD
right?
said it on my show.
JD said that
on my show.
Yeah,
like
okay.
the first time it came out. So it's like, so it's this thing where it's like, I just think people have something against. I just think New Yorkers have something against anybody that's not from New York asking for credit. And I can say that as a New Yorker. As a New Yorker who doesn't claim it, but I was born there. I have so many family members from New York that I just feel like, so sometimes I just fuck with New York. When I'm like, cause I'm about my best friend, Boo Man, Xavier Miller. This nigga thinks you cannot tell him, my girl is right there. You cannot tell him that Kilo Ali is not better than Jay-Z.
Right.
No. My line, and he would be like, nigga, what? And by the way, he'll rap. I float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. It's me, Ali. You're like, what? And you're like, that nigga better than Ho. And you can't tell him that. And it's like, and to me, I think that's okay.
Yeah.
I think that's beautiful. I think that's great. Because in the world we live in, it's like, in the world of flowers, it's like, why can't we give people their flowers? Only because y'all didn't give it to them. So because New York didn't give Kilo flowers, don't you dare say that nigga name. And because New York is like Bow Wow is whatever it is, don't you compare him to I GOAT. And it's like, I'm just being honest. He was a bigger star. Dog, that's all it is. It's like I think Biggie is the greatest rapper to ever live. He's the greatest rapper ever be born. The only reason I put Jay over him is because
MC,
he had a long time. So it's like,
sure.
So I got to get that to him. But like Biggie was gifted and time says I was right. Biggie got on first. Biggie blew up first. Biggie actually is who helped Jay-Z. Most people say that Jay-Z wouldn't be what he was if Biggie and Pac didn't die. So it's not like this is like and by the way, I'm not a person that says it because I heard Reasonable Doubt in 96. Nigga, I was staying with my cousin in the Bronx. Every nigga on the block was pulling up in MPVs bumping, I'm feeling that. Like, nigga, we love Hove in the hood. Like, it's there. But at the same time, he was for hood niggas. Hood niggas grew up, became businessmen. And now we run the world and we love Jay-Z.
Yeah, I thought that's to me the mark of a superstar as well, because I almost put it, I kind of think about it while you're talking, almost like a Tony Robbins. Like, he's very aspirational.
True.
It's just like, this is somebody that came from a circumstance. And Tony Robbins, I guess Tony Robbins is like that too, where he was just a janitor.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that story.
No, I didn't know that.
Tony Robbins was a janitor, broke.
Really?
Yeah.
I love Tony Robbins.
Yeah, and I mean, he's like changed so many people's lives. And Jay is the same thing. He's changed so many people's lives.
I agree.
I remember as well, like I took in Blueprint before I did Reasonable Doubt. And that was like, I was like 16 or 17 years old, but I remember taking the bus every single day to my job, an hour, and listening to You Don't Know.
Yeah.
On repeat, because when I love a song, I love a fucking record. I play it.
I want to ask you a question because I'm going to piss you off. I know it's not this kind of show, but I just got to do it. Does Jay have a better album than The College Dropout?
Yeah, for me personally, yeah. Yes.
What Jay-Z album is better than The College Dropout?
I mean,
Just name one. Don't say any.
I'll say this. Dead Presidents is better than any record on College Dropout.
What?
Yes. What are you talking about? I'm not gonna do this.
I don't want to talk about it.
I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do this.
But bro, look.
I'm not gonna do this.
But bro, look. No, I respect it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. No, I'll tell you why. I will tell you why. That's just a personal opinion. I can't say the general, because look, this is how I think of music, okay? I listen with my ears. And when I say my ears, it's my personal ears. I don't care what the world says. Because when Blueprint came out, it was, remember, Nas versus Jay. It was Stillmatic versus Blueprint. And people were saying Blueprint is trash because Stillmatic is better and the whole true. Nas and all that. I was like, you guys are crazy. They're both great albums. But for me personally, where I was in my life and trying to figure out how to get out of that situation, Blueprint changed my life.
And by the way.
And so that's why for me personally, it's the better album.
So you think Blueprint is better than The College Dropout?
I do, yes, personally.
It's so interesting because Kanye laid down the blueprint for the
Don't
Blueprint.
Forget about Bink, but yes.
No, but Bink and Ye.
Just Blaze.
By the way, shout out to Bink. Me and Bink just texted me a few minutes ago. That's my nigga. But yeah, Bink, you're right, Bink.
Yeah.
But Bink and Ye don't give Just Blaze the credit. Bink and Ye are both on record saying Just Blaze was the young one that was following us. He wasn't innovative. But anyway, my point is this:
I don't know. You don't know.
I'm looking at College Dropout. We Don't Care, Graduation Day, All Falls Down, I'll Fly Away, Spaceship, Jesus.
Incredible
records.
It's
about 23 songs on this album, 21 songs on this album.
Incredible records.
The Blueprint has 11.
Y'all can't leave at 6:30.
Blueprint has 11. Listen, Blueprint has 11. The Blueprint has 11, right?
And
I can give you 11 songs on The College Dropout to match every song in the Blueprint and still have 4 or 5 songs left over to go to say that I think College Dropout is one of the greatest rap albums of all time.
I think it transformed hip hop in many ways.
I think it changed the world.
From a commercial.
I think it changed the world. And the reason why I say it changed the world because College Dropout was the first time we had a regular person rapping.
He wasn't a superhero.
Every rapper that was a superhero in the hood. Cameron, the flyest nigga in the hood.
Especially because that was 50 Cent.
Yes,
He came
and
out with
50 Cent was the
Trying.
nigga that got it. He was the Iron Man, got shot and still came back.
Yeah,
and Ye was the first nigga just saying simple shit like, drug dealing just to get by, stack your money until it gets sky high. Like, kids say, we weren't supposed to live past 25. Joke's on you, we still alive. Jay-Z don't have that. And I love him, and he's my best, and I love him. But the problem we have with this world is, here's the problem we have with this world. It's the same problem we have with high school. Watch this. Let me finish this. Let me finish it. Here's the problem with the world. It's the same problem we have with high school.
I love girls.
Look at the room.
Girls, I do
Jack is
adore.
sleep. Jack is sleep right there.
No, he's not. Now he lifted up. He's been asleep for 45 minutes.
No, but listen. Girls, great record. But what I'm telling you
phenomenal record.
Blueprint doesn't have one song better than All Falls Down.
No, I mean, to me.
Look at my man. Hold on. My man. Look, am I tripping? Blueprint does not have one song better than All Falls Down. Oh, and by the way, I am a Jay-Z stan, but I still feel like it's important to tell the truth.
You don't think you don't know? No, I get.
Hell no. You know, that was the Black album. You don't know.
No, Blueprint was Blueprint.
No, you don't know?
You don't know.
Oh yeah, no. I was thinking about.
Okay, so now that you know it's on Blueprint.
Allow me to reintroduce myself.
PSA is an incredible record.
Yeah,
but so
I think the Black album better than Blueprint.
So you don't know?
I think the Black album is better than Blueprint.
There's an argument there.
But I think the College Dropout is better than both. I think Kanye has a better catalog than Jay. I think 100 years from now, I think Kanye is going to be considered Picasso, and Jay is going to be considered Michelangelo. But I think Kanye is going to be worth more because he got a big part of Jay catalog too. Okay, just making sure. See, that's the problem. It's like the problem with the music business is high school. You remember in high school, the coolest kid can do everything. If the coolest kid say we wear red shoes and everybody want to be like that. Yeah. And then the regular kids is like, I guess I'm gonna do it, but that shit feel lame. I can't wait to get out of school so I can fucking dress how I want. Because you just want to fit in high school. And I think that everybody who's saying Bow Wow versus Jay or Kanye versus Jay is the coolest nigga in high school. That doesn't mean he has the best moments in high school. That just means the coolest. He doesn't have a better album than the College Dropout, and I don't think he's ever had screams like Bow Wow.
But so you say that he doesn't have a better album than College Dropout because of just the records?
I'm saying because of what the album meant, right? Like Jay.
Oh, so like you're talking about like how it affected the culture
in my life. Like Jay was a drug dealer rapping. I wasn't a drug dealer. I tried. Neither was I. I got robbed. I was like, this ain't for me. I'm like, I'm not a drug dealer, but
neither was I. But I sold everything and anything under the sun except for drugs.
I should sell porn in front of the discount mall. I'm a hustle to what I got. I'm going to figure out how to get some money to feed my family. But Jay was the hustler. To me, Kanye was just regular.
So then you're saying subjectively then?
Yeah, by the way, I'm only speaking subjective.
Okay.
But my issue is, why can't I be subjective? It's like objective. It's like
you know why I think it is? Because I think you said to your point, you're in the business. You're somebody who is like, this is the whole issue. I think I got a way to explain it. Oh, this is really good. You're an NBA fan, right? You like basketball? Yeah. Okay, me too. So obviously, you know, the Thunder are playing the Pacers. And to be honest with you, if you were just a regular basketball fan, it's a great series. Yeah.
But nobody give a damn about the Pacers. Nobody give a damn about the Thunder.
Small town markets.
Small town markets. They don't have a superstar. So the interest isn't there. It's not about how good the game is. The game is going to be great. It's the interest in the people on the court.
Right.
Right? So for me, the way I look at this is that we have these how can I put this? Okay, cool. Because we talking about, I'm trying to equate it to artists, right? So if I forgot.
I was just gonna say that I think sometimes these opinions of somebody who is in the business.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
They should be kept quiet because you are in the business.
And that's how I was gonna go. And that's how I was gonna go. Okay, so I love hearing NBA players talk about the NBA game.
And this is a good point. This is what I was trying to bring
because for me, it's like the real X's and O's of like how the game works.
Yeah.
And now it's like I get a chance to watch.
And it adds to the game.
Yes. So all I'm saying is that, dog, if you had to ask me, pick one name, Jay-Z, of course, over everybody. That's not even a doubt. But I will say, looking at it with no biases, man, College Dropout was an incredible album.
No, there's no doubt.
My God.
Sure,
and then to be honest with you, and then Graduation was like, I don't think Jay has a better. I think Graduation is better than Blueprint.
I'll say this and I'll leave it at this.
Okay.
Kanye has the best 5 album run of any artist. Period. Doesn't matter what genre.
And that's what and for me it's like that 5 college dropout, late registration, graduation, 808s and heartbreaks. Then you go to fucking My Dark Twisted.
That's incredible. And you can even give Life of Pablo in there too.
And then come with that, and then that's when he became the young niggas, bro. It's like I'm like Jay has. It's like, here's what I want to say. If you're watching this and it bothers you, I want you to understand I'm focusing on the business model. You're focusing on the music. I'm focusing on the business model. Is it D2C? Is it B2B? Like, I'm just trying to focus on how we gonna make the money. That's all I'm focused on because I'm a coach. That's my job. So when I see Jay-Z's business model, his business model was be the smart man, own your shit.
Yeah.
Come in the room,
Yeah.
make sure your shit, put your niggas on, put your niggas in place, and let's slowly take this bitch over while I become the dopest rapper alive. I don't think it was ever why I become the biggest superstar. I don't think it was ever been that, right? Because he always acknowledged who was bigger. Only niggas selling units and pimp juice than us, right? You gotta acknowledge Nelly. Nelly wasn't, it's the same way he said Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas. Hov is smart. He's a marketer. He knows how what names he want to put himself in the line
And
with.
he's got that line in the Black album too, where he says, it's on that record, My Life. I think, and he's just like, well, maybe not the fortune, but my life.
Yeah. Like
you
when
can keep the fame, you can keep this.
Like I'll probably rob like Talib, but it didn't make no common sense. So he's breaking it down. Truthfully, I could be like Talib Kweli, but I chose to put so he's really telling you that's why I love Hov. Because Hov is the greatest. Because he the only nigga that's gonna box you and tell you what he doing. Right hook coming, boom. Here come the left, boom, and it's like, God damn. Bow Wow just came in like Mike Tyson. He was just beating the shit out of people. And then when he got a hard fight, it was hard now. It was like, shit, he can't beat nobody. It's like, honestly, remember Mike Tyson? He was the fucking man, and then he lost to Buster Douglas, and it was like, the cachet was gone.
Right.
The best thing happened to him was going to jail, because then he came out with now it's like, oh, he just got out of jail, what's going to happen? But when he lost to Buster Douglas, the cachet was gone. Muhammad Ali lost a few times and stayed there, because he was a boxer.
Yeah.
He wasn't a phenomenon. He was a boxer. Mike was a phenomenon. He was knocking motherfuckers out in 30 seconds. He was such a phenomenon that if you took him to 8 or 9 rounds, that's when he would lose. He wasn't prepared to go deep. I'm used to just beating the shit out of you first, second round, and you go out. Exactly. So it's kind of the same concept. Jay-Z is that nigga, y'all, but Bow Wow woke up like this. They put that nigga out, and he was the most famous artist, biggest artist, everything. Wouldn't you rather have that?
You know what's crazy? People actually forget that he was on Arsenio Hall when he was like 4 years old rapping.
He was discovered by Snoop. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And by the way, nobody wants to admit it, but Bow Wow, the only rapper that I've seen have girls passing out trying to get to him. Michael Jackson, the only other person I've seen do that.
Right.
That means something.
Yeah.
He was a cute kid. Who cares? He's a star.
Do you think, speaking of stars, so like, why do you think that today, in this day and age, there are no superstars like there were 10 years ago? Is it just too many options?
Nah, stars breed stars. It's 2 reasons. I think stars breed stars is the first reason. I think it's too much money. There's the goalposts. The goalposts is like I gave you $8 million, bro. Like, you gonna listen to me now? I'm making $300,000 a year. I just gave you $8 million. You ain't gonna listen to me. You're not gonna listen to me.
Interesting.
So it's like, that's the first thing, right? And not only that, like, artists have access to so much. A good friend of mine is Bryce Wilson from Groove Theory, right?
Yeah.
He did my show. And I remember asking him, like, at Groove Theory's peak, how much money you made in 1 year? He said, man, we was lucky. We got $2 million in our peak in 1 year. You got motherfuckers putting out gold records and doing fucking $6-7 million in a year. With a gold record. Not even a platinum album.
Right.
Gold song.
Yeah.
So it's just access to too much money. It's too many entry points to get money that artists just don't. It's like there was the only highway to heaven, stairway to heaven. You only take. Now it's so many routes. Everybody can say, I'm going over there, I'm going over there, I'm going to go over there. I like it over there. It's just different.
That's an interesting perspective, because you can make the same argument kind of for the NBA.
For sure. Same concept.
He's a superstar right now.
But the reason why.
They're stars.
And then the second reason is because stars breed stars.
Okay, tell me a little bit more about that.
A superstar executive. Bro, Jimmy Iovine is a superstar.
Right.
Jimmy is a star, bro. Have you ever met Jimmy?
Yeah.
You saw you smiling like, he's a star. He's an entertainer. Oh, guys, what we thought? Like, he's a star.
Yeah.
So, of course he's going to breed stars.
Yeah.
If you're A&R lame, I hope you're making lame music. Because if you're A&R lame, how you going to tell you what's cool?
Right.
The music business has always been built on cool. Cool niggas is gone. All the cool people are gone. All the people that could tell artists the cool ways to win are gone. So now artists are just, I'm making my album, I'm building my business, I'm putting out my marketing, and I'm going to, it's like, that shit is so fucking boring. Nigga, nigga, go watch LL Cool J, I'm Bad video. That nigga standing on the table, oh, it's like that nigga was so fucking hungry.
Yeah.
That shit is exciting to me.
Yeah.
That makes me excited. When I see these new artists, they're like, I'm the best artist, I'm so good. And they get on stage and they sing like, this is good. And I'm like, this is good. Oh shit, okay, maybe I'm past my time. Maybe I'm past it, because that's not good to me.
Is there a way that could change?
They gotta allow, so I think everything's gonna blow up. I think the music business, I've been saying this on my podcast, I think the music business is going through a cleanse. I think we're about 70% done. You know, RCA just laid off a whole lot of people Thursday.
I just heard that today.
Right? They just laid a lot of people Thursday.
Yeah, I just heard
so
that today.
what's really happening, and that's why I wanted to talk to you, because I want people that are managers that are watching this to understand what I'm about to say. You better focus on building your brand.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what you do. If you work in a building, because let me tell you why. Them builders pay them nice checks, but they also ask for a lot of your time. Then you realize you helping them get all those making wins, you giving them all your time, and then when they let you go, or it's time to go in another direction, you so used to living off $400,000 a year that now you just chasing money.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta, this is sacrifice time. I like to compare it to bubblegum shrimp. You ever seen Forrest Gump?
Yeah, of course.
Remember they said the storm is coming? They had one goal, survive. Everybody's leaving. If we could be the one to survive, we're gonna get all the shrimp. It's so crazy that they actually turned into a real store called Bubblegum Shrimp in Times Square. Like, that's how the world works.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, and we're so worried about what the industry is thinking. Bro, go out there and build.
No, that's true. I always think there's a music industry and there's a music business. It's two very different
I
things.
retired from the music industry.
Yeah.
I'm in the music business,
Yeah,
but I'm not in the
exactly.
music industry anymore.
So
Yeah.
I got one foot in, one foot out.
Yeah,
You know
me
what
too.
I mean?
I'm not. And the reason why is because it's the everybody's trying to come up before it's too late.
Yeah.
You got execs in buildings trying to manage the artists they working with.
I know.
You got
seen a
execs
lot of
trying
that.
to like get pieces of pies and have artists signed to them because they know their shit is ending and they hoping they get one win so they could cash
Last
out.
lick.
Last lick. I just think we live in a different time. I just think that we almost done. It's gonna be a lot more firing.
And the market share shows that.
Yeah, for sure.
Because independents now
have grown up.
50%.
Now they
Almost
actually have
50%.
more market share than Universal.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's weird.
Well,
right?
well, I think it's more market share than all the three combined.
No. I think it's like 37.
Sorry, independent is 37.
It's
Sorry,
like
you're right.
37%.
You're right.
Universal's like 35. And
You're right.
Yeah, but nah,
And that's going to continue.
Oh no,
happening.
that's my point. So guess what? If you're working at a label and you like your little cushy job, every time the numbers come out and indies grow more and more, the labels start realizing we don't need you.
Yeah.
I'll just pay you when I need you. I'll pay you when I have a project for you. I don't have to give you benefits. I don't have to give you a corporate card. I don't have to give you nothing. I could just give you $50,000 to work this project, and then you go do other things. So what's really gonna happen is they're gonna start telling people what time they want from you. Yo, bro, I know I was paying you $5,000 a week to do that, but I only need this now. So here's $1,500. Now you got to go make up for that other 35 that you're missing. But now they got 25 hours a week out of you. So now it's like, fuck, you know what I'm saying? So It's really about to be, to me, I'm afraid for the world if you're not thinking like a brand, like what you're doing. That's why I saw you. I got to go talk to him. He's doing what you got to do. You got to sit down and build a brand. Manager's Playbook.
I'll tell you the honest truth. I've never. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, man. But I'll tell you something, and I've never really said this on camera, but I was thinking about doing this for almost 7 years. But it came to a point, I didn't do it, and I have had a little bit of this conversation actually the other day, but it hasn't come up. But I wasn't doing it because I was working with Jesse. But then that was just really the excuse to not get in front of a camera because of, being behind the scenes.
Because what they don't tell us, what we don't say on camera is that in our world, the minute that we do this, the talent don't like it.
Yeah.
They don't like when you become talented.
No, but I've been fortunate. Jesse came on the pod. Like she's been great.
For sure.
And we don't work together anymore, but it's all love. Everything's good and
sure.
everything's kosher. And she supports, so it's
sure.
super dope. But I started to think to myself, and this is what I haven't talked about on the pod, the necessity of this.
It's
because I was like, you know what? There is a brand here, and I'm like, I am trying to build a business. It's like that's why Hov is my goal.
Yeah.
I'm like, sure, like there's like a level of like fame that comes with. I'm like, you keep that.
Yeah.
For me, it's just building the business and growing the business and ensuring that, like, for me, it comes down to generational wealth.
Yeah.
So my kids or my grandkids who don't exist, they can start at a better position than I do.
Yeah, for sure.
And I want to ensure that wealth stays within the family, because if you go from like wealth creator, what I would be is a G1, generational one, by the time it gets to generation 3, the stats show that the money's lost.
Yeah, always.
So I want to figure out, okay, how to ensure that stays, and making sure that the financial planning is good, that the social capital is good. And I said to myself, okay, well, somebody told me this actually in Toronto. We sat down one time in wintertime, he goes, you have a lot of social capital. And I'm like, I've never heard that word before.
Yeah.
His name's Jarrell. He's a good dude. And I go, I've never heard of that before. He's like, you know a lot of people. He's like, you ever thought about being a guy? I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, you know, somebody who's out there speaking and creating a newsletter or like in a podcast. So I was like, I have, but I've always been. And he's like, you should start figuring that out because there's brand building around that.
Yeah.
And I got to it. And in the last 2 or 3 days, you know, we were talking about it off camera. There's a lot of people that are coming up to me and I'm thankful for it.
Yeah.
They're watching because these conversations get very into
deep.
the nitty gritty. They get deep.
Yep.
And I think of that myself and I say, well, like I'm even showing artists a bit of a blueprint. I'm not saying you have to post 5 times a day on your social medias. I have a team.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to Erica, shout out to Mel. They hold me down.
Yeah,
they're my project managers, my EAs, and my marketing coordinators. Yeah. But they're the like, I don't care. It's 5 times a day I am posting on my Instagram. This is my Instagram. Forget about TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook.
Yep.
And I look at it and I go, I don't care if one post bombs.
Who cares?
I'm staying out of the results. That just means nobody saw it.
Just stay consistent. Yep.
Stay consistent. Stay consistent.
And don't focus on the results.
That's
focus on the journey.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you focus on the results, you'll always be helped. Focus on the journey, enjoy it.
Exactly.
Find a way to enjoy it.
What is it to focus on the results anyways?
We said
focusing on the results. How do you focus on the results when the journey is never ending?
Exactly.
So
that's why you got to constantly move the goalposts.
Yeah.
And you know what? Let's try to get, like, my goal is to get to 100,000 subscribers. I'm almost there.
I see it. You're like at 88, 89.
Yeah, so I'm like, get to 100,000. Then it's like, once you get there, then it's like, what's the next goal?
Yeah.
So the whole concept is to set goals, move the posts after you get there.
Can I say something though when it comes to your podcast?
Yeah.
I think your podcast is great. I think it should have more views right now, especially because I watched a podcast 2 weeks ago and I saw it only had a couple of thousand views. I'm like, this thing needs to have 20,000 views. But I think,
but here's the thing. But see, so I'm glad you brought that up because to me, I don't see podcasting as a view thing. I see podcasting as a network opportunity.
Yeah,
so it's
absolutely.
Like when would me and you ever have a chance to sit down for 2.5 hours and talk and get to know each other? If it wasn't for us understanding that this is still a marketing tool for us also, 100%. Right? So podcasting to me is the easiest way to build. Like that's what my agency does. I help people build their brand. I help people grow themselves. Like 100%. I help people. It's called leverage your influence. I help people amplify what they're doing, right? Yes. So to me, podcasting is a great way. Like I would tell everybody to focus on podcasting, like, because it's a good networking opportunity.
But what I would say to that point is that, like, if you have only 2,000 views on a certain video, there's only like, I was just going to say this because I think there's just a couple of tweaks that you need to do and you can have that.
Tell me, I want to hear it.
Videos.
Team right there, listen, y'all.
Yeah. Really, honestly, it's thumbnails. Thumbnails is the most important thing on YouTube. Tuma will tell you. So the thumbnail, you got to think about it. A lot of people now are watching YouTube on a smart TV.
Yes.
Right? Even if you're looking at it on your phone, it's like, if you look at your analytics on the back end, it'll be like, and YouTube has the best analytics.
Yeah.
You'll see on the smartphone, it'll say that it's like 30 or 40%. Then the smart TV will generally be like 24%.
Yeah.
So think about if you're watching YouTube on your TV or on your phone, what's the first thing that your eye is going to catch? It's like the thumbnail.
Yeah.
That's the movie trailer.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's the poster.
Exactly.
So keep the poster a lot cleaner.
Yeah.
Just visually appealing.
Well, this is, they're laughing because this is kind of.
Well, you've been fighting against this?
No, I've been fighting for it.
Okay.
My problem is that my problem for my pod
and the titles.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people make a lot of mistakes when it comes to the titles, and they'll say episode 31 and this guest, the name, and then all the things they talk about. And here's why that's a problem, because if you're going on YouTube or on your phone, you'll say a long ass title, but it'll just go ...
Yes.
I can't see the rest of the title.
Yeah.
I do my best to keep the title short.
And for me, so here's my problem. My issue has been that I make my money in music. I was talking to Joe Budden. He asked me the same thing. He's like, yo, bro, your shit is incredible. Your shit should be bigger. And I'm like, Joe, I got to be honest with you. I don't feed my family with my podcast. I feed it with my music stuff. So I start shifting how I saw it. But the problem is that you're right. The problem is that now I have to do it, but I'm always busy. So it's hard. But for me, it's like, it's no excuse, but it's just kind of like, I'm glad you're saying it. I'm smiling because this is what I've been preaching to the team. I'm like, our thumbnails are not clean enough. Our captions need to be better. Like,
I'll put you in touch with somebody that I use. I use somebody like, honestly, like on Upwork, they're $100. They're like somewhere far.
Nice. Okay, perfect. Yeah. But yeah, so for me,
I think the girls from Pakistan, to be honest with you.
Like, that's we put that together now. Working on that now.
Yeah.
Working on that right now. But you're right. So But even then, it's like I didn't know what I was doing, and so for 3 years, bro, I didn't take no money. So I've been doing this
What you
podcast.
mean?
Like obviously, people know who I am. So
Yeah.
people come to me saying, "Yo, I want to work with you. Like I want to work with your agency. I want to work with you." And I was like, "No, I don't know what I'm doing yet,
Okay.
and I don't want to take nobody's money until I know what I'm doing because I don't need the money."
Honorable.
So
Yeah.
so my first client that I was me. That's kind of why I started. I'll be in the room with artists. I'm like,
Yeah.
I can help you.
Yeah.
But how about this? Just put a camera on, tell your story,
Yeah.
do, and I'm gonna do it with you.
Yeah.
And none of them did it. And I
Okay.
just did it consistently, and I got more followers than all of them, and I got more motion than all of them. So you start understanding that how important effort is, how important it is to just go
absolutely.
forward. But people wasn't trying that. So yeah, people just, so when I say with artists, they always like, man, why is it so hard to break up? Because you want to make music and you want people to choose you. And you just think that I'm going to put out a song and I want somebody to go viral. And then you realize, you know how hard it is to get over 100 views? Yeah. I know people be talking about 1,000. I'm like, you know how hard it is to get 100 views on something?
Yeah.
First time nobody cares about you. It's
Exactly.
difficult, but it has to start.
Yeah, you got
You got to start somewhere.
And
so
you
start.
And you can't just put out one thing and then expect like the whole world to come and listen. Like you can make people try and go to it, but then what's next?
Yes.
Russ has a great example of that where he had 12, when he's doing a song a week, he had 26 records, and then he was just like putting song week after week after week. It's the same thing here, like with the podcast. I don't know if you do this, but like I'm like 4 to 8 episodes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
with
episodes
this
for
episode,
weeks,
we're probably gonna come a little sooner because of that wild take you have about Bow Wow and Jay, but no joking.
That's all good. I don't mind.
But it's like just making sure that you're ready, because as an artist as well, have your music ready.
Yeah.
And that was always the biggest problem as well with a record label, is like you had to depend on them to when you were going to be able to release a song. But if you're an independent artist,
you can release whenever you want.
Whenever you want.
And by the way, labels have rules because labels have gauges that matter to them.
Yeah, of course.
So like labels, like if you are independent, you could drop a record Tuesday at 1 p.m.
Yeah, whereas labels are always
they only want to go Thursday
night.
night at 12 a.m. So a lot of that is that too.
I hated that.
Yeah, me too. But I always tell artists, I'm like, every artist, and if you're watching this is the truth. Every artist goes independent. They get hot. They get hot. And after they get hot, they get signed. And now they're like, I'm with the mob. I'm with the mob. I made it. I'm with the people that built my idols.
No, you didn't.
No.
You said it's day one.
No, they don't understand.
Yeah.
Those people are flirting with you. They don't even know if they want to marry you yet.
Right.
They just know that you're hot. Everybody want to date you, so they need to date you. So they just date you because they don't want no one else to date you. They ain't even figured out what they want to do with you yet. Right. So artists get signed to labels. Then labels like, here's what we do. And nothing works. And then it doesn't work. And then they look at you like, you really whack. And now they send you home. And now, but guess what? They sent you home, but guess what they own? Your catalog.
Yeah.
The shit that was taken for you and your mom and y'all to live every day, that little $4,000 check coming in, $5,000, that goes to them now. Because you took all their money, but you didn't understand they didn't have a plan. So for me, I just think that labels are, to me, the big issue, because they know what they're doing. It's like, that's why people say you should mess with somebody younger than you. If you're 40, you should mess with a 21-year-old. You got 19 years of life over her. The tricks and trade, you shouldn't do that. Same with labels. You sign a brand new artist, you've been in the game 30 fucking years. Why are you how you sign this new artist? You ain't teaching them? Let me tell you something, the worst thing that labels do is they give you a blessing without a lesson. They give you the blessing of the money, but they don't give you no lesson. So what happens when you give a young kid from the hood $1 million? He's gonna go buy some jewelry, he's gonna go buy some cars, and he's gonna go back to the hood and say, look, I'm rich. And he don't even know how money is coming in after that.
He doesn't know that million is actually 350,000.
He don't know that's the last he might ever see again.
Yeah.
If he doesn't do what he's supposed to do. Labels be testing us, man.
Because that's important. Just so if an artist ever does get $1 million advance, just know that 50% of that goes to the government. And off the million, off the top, you are also paying your manager 20%, and you're paying your lawyer more than likely 5%.
So you made $1 million, $250,000 went to lawyer manager.
Yeah, and so you made $250,000. Exactly.
Yep. So you got $750,000, and you got to pay taxes. On that. Yeah, but
and which is half. So you got $350,000.
But they don't understand. So when somebody gave you $1 million, what they really did was give you an opportunity to work.
Yeah.
That's what they really did. They just gave you an opportunity to work. Here's your money, now go do the work.
Right.
Not go spend it.
Right.
That's the lesson.
That's true. That's true.
Here's the blessing.
Yeah.
Now do what you want, but you know why labels don't give you blessings? Because they need you in a hole. They need you desperate for them. Because if you're desperate for them, you're gonna do what they want you to do. And that you artists usually do it, and then when it doesn't work, the labels start being like, "Your shit is whack, it's not working." So for me, it's like, if you're not trying to figure out who you are, I got a couple deals on the table for what I'm doing with the pod and everything, but the only reason I'm cool with it now is I know who I am. Y'all so busy trying to get money, you ain't even figured out who you are. What if you don't like McDonald's? You just settled because you was hungry. I want to be at McDonald's. What if you could have got to Chipotle? I bet, what if you got a little higher? You probably could have. You would have just waited. But you was like, I'm gonna take what I can get because I'm afraid. And the abundance versus the scarcity mentality is what really kills us and kills artists, because they think that the opportunities are scarce when it's really in abundance because they created it.
Talk to me. I had Cardinal Official on the podcast.
My brother.
Yeah, mine too, man. Good peoples. And he brought it up on the podcast, and you brought it up before. He says he loves the science and the magician theory.
What did I say?
The science and the magician theory.
That's how I said that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But he mentioned it.
Oh yeah, he did.
But I want you to talk about it because he referenced you when he was talking about it.
Yeah, because I always say that. Because I'm like, so you have some artists that are science, you have some artists that are magic, and you have some that are both, right?
Yeah.
So I give you an example. Future, I think, was magic. And I think he eventually became science.
Okay.
Right? He was like, because see, it's kind of like, I hate to do this, but because it's not always about race, but like race has nuances in it, right? So the one thing that I learned from working with Dr. Luke was that it was all about the science of how to make a hit.
Yeah, he comes from the Max Martin.
He comes from the mathematics, science. Don't get me wrong, it might not be as fun to create, but it is very effective, right? And then you have people that are magic. Magic are the people that don't know what they're doing. Here's how I explain it. Magic, if I do a magic trick right now, it's to wow you.
Right.
Science is just as amazing. I just can explain it. The magic trick, how'd you do that?
Yeah.
Science is like, what you do? I mix this with this and you do this, and because this is the same, it's just as amazing. It's just, it can be explained so no one pays to see it.
Yeah.
So all I tell everybody is you have to start off as magic, but your goal should only be to become science.
Yeah.
Because science means you got to figure it out. Like it goes back to what I said. I started doing a podcast about 3 years ago. It's just been magic. It's like, it's going viral. Oh my God, you're blowing up. I'm like, I ain't making no money from it. Like I'm trying to figure out the science.
Human people.
Because if I would have took the money,
yeah,
now I'm stuck
at
McDonald's.
Yeah.
And I might could get the Mastros every day.
Right.
I might be able to get the Mastros every day.
Right.
But because I'm so hungry, give me McDonald's, I'll eat it. And then you start realizing 3 years later, I'm tired of this goddamn burgers. I want something different. Well, you sign up for McDonald's, that's what you're gonna get. So I always tell people, I'm like, magic is, so like Theron. Theron was magic when I met him. He was magic. And his magic was, he was just willing to do anything it took to win. Like, he would write a song.
He gotta be magic. If he wrote, did he write El Perdón with Enrique Iglesias? And
we have an Enrique record in our catalog. I don't know the name of it.
With Nicky Jam.
Yeah.
That's a whole Spanish record.
Yeah, we did that.
How? Is he Spanish?
No, he doesn't.
What the fuck?
Well. Glad you said that.
That's a magician.
Science. No, it's not a magician.
That's okay. That's science. Okay, all right.
Let me tell you what science tells us.
Tell me.
Science tells us that 80% of the world doesn't speak English.
Yeah, right.
So melody is king.
Right.
Dr. Luke, getting my boom boom like it's dynamite. Like, it's mathematics, like firework, it's math. So I always look at artists. So if you name an artist, I could tell you if they're science or magic, right? So like I always say, Drake is the best combination of the two. Mm-hmm. He's magical, but he's scientific as fuck. He knows what he's going for. Future was magic, but he turned into science because he figured it out. Let me tell you how you can tell somebody's magic. When they magic. So if an artist is listening at home, this is how you know you magic. You make an album, make 13 songs, and you just want one of them to work, and you're gonna put it out. That's what Future used to do. I'm gonna make a mixtape, put it out. What song y'all like? Okay, that's what I'm gonna push a video for. That's what I'm gonna shoot a video. Because y'all like me, so y'all gonna listen to my album, and y'all gonna tell me what y'all like. That's magic. Science is Drake. Here's what you're gonna like. Oh, I'm gonna make a dance song. Left foot, boom. Right, that's science. I'm gonna make a dance song for America. It's gonna be a hit. And then after that, I'm going off to something else. Drake understands what it is. So he's the greatest science magic guy in the game to me. Mm-hmm. Like he's the cheat. I would say the cheat code, right? Like most artists are magic, and they should be trying to figure out how to be science. You know what magic is? Okay, let me tell you compare the two. You ever see somebody when they was younger and be like, damn, they was the shit. And then they see them and they older, be like, damn, they fell off. That's because we caught them in a magical moment in their life. Once the magic does fade away, you're just here.
Yeah. You got to figure out the science of it at that point.
Bow Wow, Jay-Z. Jay-Z was trying to figure out the science. That's why he lasted long and he always got bigger.
Yeah.
Bow Wow came out and just won. That's why when the bubble burst, it just bursted open because it was just like, it was a phenom. What happened? We just were screaming, what happened? It's like,
right.
Well, Jay, we could tell you what happened.
Right.
Because he rapped about it. He told us what he was doing. He told us the plan. He was trying to get to $1 billion on fucking the 96 album, Reasonable Doubt.
Man, 50 Cent is another good example of
50
that as
Cent,
well.
another good example. He's mad. 50 Cent understands. You know what? I think the government is doing science on us now. I don't think that Elon Musk and Trump are really beefing.
You don't think so? I've heard that as like a rumor. I
think that they're doing the
I've heard some
people. Everybody is doing the WWE.
Interesting.
WWE. Everybody's doing that. We got a beef right now. Well, we're going to go against each other. We're really friends. I might hit you hard in the public, but don't worry about it. We got to do this because we need to fake you out and make y'all think about something else while we focus on what we're really focusing on.
Right. Yeah.
I hate him. He hates me too. We're really friends. We hate each other. Everybody's talking about that. Nobody's focusing on what they're doing.
That's classic in government.
That's classic in business.
Pick and roll.
Like Jimmy Iovine. Remember him? Doug Morris had him at Atlantic. He just did his deal with Interscope. Doug gets fired from Atlantic, from Warner, goes to Universal. He wants Jimmy to bring Tupac and them over. And Jimmy is like, I stuck in this deal. What did they do? They didn't do what they teach us to do. Go get your lawyer. They did the ghetto shit. They paid protesters to protest outside of Atlantic Records. Protest Interscope, protest everything they're doing. We hate Interscope. And then Warner dropped them, and they took Interscope to Universal. Jimmy and Doug paid those protesters to do that. That's genius.
Yeah.
That's what I'll be thinking. That's science.
That's the strategy.
I want to get out this deal. Well, we can't. They're not going to let us out. Let's cause a little ruckus so they can make it a little uncomfortable for them and see how they react to that. And they make it uncomfortable. You go do the deal. They still together. It works.
How much in your career are you thinking about the strategy of these things?
Me?
Yeah.
Every fucking second.
Yeah.
Everything I say. That's why when I
what
say...
What strategy do you?
And it depends on what the scenario is, right? So like, let me give you a good thing. Let me give you a good strategy I used one day. Let me tell you. Okay, so one of my idols. So first of all, let me just tell you something. I learned everything from movie characters.
Which movies?
Movies, TV shows. That's my teachers. Like that's why I said Jay-Z.
So which character? Yeah.
Frank Underwood on House of Cards. Francis Underwood.
Okay.
And so sometimes I was like, I'll be saying to myself, what would Francis Underwood do? I never told the story. I'm gonna tell it now. I hope I tell the story. It's not that bad, but I can't tell the story. I don't know if I can tell. Oh my God, they might not trip. We friends. I'll say so. Look, so I have an artist who was signed to Epic Records. I'm obsessed with R.A.Y.D.A.R at the time.
Okay.
Like he's the only person on the board I want to work for. LA don't know this story. He don't know this. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm telling this. So LA was trying to hire me. Mark Stewart was trying to hire me. Because Mark Stewart and shout out to Mark and Tricky, they love me. So I can't believe I'm telling this shit, bro. This is crazy. So, because nobody knows I did this, but this some Francis Underwood shit. I retired. Who cares, right?
Who cares?
It's like the Flake Gate. It's over, right?
Let it go. It's over.
So Mark and Tricky are my brothers, and they love me, and they cheer me on in the building. Man, L.A., Ray Daniels, you gotta mess with him. He is the man. You gotta see him. But L.A. is like, I don't know about this nigga. You know, he's a little too aggressive for me, because I was aggressive. I was trying to get to that nigga. I was banging, hey man, fuck with me. He's like, nah, you stay across the street. So I had an artist that I did the deal with, and the deal got done with L.A., but I had the relationship with Mark and Tricky. So Mark hits me and says, Ray, we ain't got no money for you right now, because Epic was going through some drama. So I was like, really? And he was like, yeah, man, you gotta wait till our fiscal year is over, April 1st. By the way, this is like September. And he's telling me, basically, you gotta wait till April to start your album. I'm like, what? Hell no. So, I'm sitting around, I'm like, man, I gotta get to R.A.Y.D.A.R. I'm like, this nigga don't like me. And I'm like, and Mark and Tricky are my only friends to get to him. So I'm like, shit. What would Francis Underwood do? So I come up with a plan. So I'm like, the music business loves stars. They love artists. Let me tell you something. If you are artists, don't talk unless you have to. That is the artists are the power in the business. Like, nobody plays with artists. Like,
You mean like internally?
I'm
Don't
talking
the artist shouldn't talk.
I'm talking about like, put like this. An artist can hurt you faster than anybody.
Yeah.
Because they're on the mic.
Right.
So you just don't play with artists. So,
right.
So me and my partner, Davon, I hope you're not mad at me. So basically we got to get to LA. It was like, but Mark and Tricky is our only way in getting to him. And LA don't like you personally. I'm like, well, why don't we have Curtis email LA? And then he was like, that's a good idea. But then we was having problems with Curtis at the time. So we didn't want to make him feel like he had the power to email LA, because then he would have been like, LA only responded because of me. So we created a fake Curtis email. We created Curtis such and such at such and such. And I emailed LA myself. Hey, LA, Ray doesn't know I'm doing this. No one knows I'm doing this, but I heard that I don't have a budget for 8 months, and I really came to this label excited to work with you. So I don't understand, and I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. LA said, fly up tomorrow. That's how I got my job. That's how I got my job. So that's why he started fucking with me, and then he didn't know.
Wait, so how? Okay, so you fly in the next day?
No, I fly in. He fly me, Curtis, and Davon live in New York. We fly to him. We meet him. Our budget gets open. He's like, I like you. He starts fucking with me. He offers me a job a few months later. I got hired.
Oh,
but I had to get to him. But I knew he didn't like me because I knew I was aggressive, and I knew Mark and Tricky was my brothers, and I didn't want to. And then they quit. So when they quit, it's just me stuck with LA, and I'm like, how am I gonna get to this dude? So I just so these characters in the movies are inspiring to me. So I watch them because I'm like, what do you got to do to get stuff? So bro, that's how I am. So the way I work is I reverse engineer. What do we want more than anything? We just need to get in the room with him. Okay, so I can't go, you can't go, because we'll sell our relationship with Mark and Tricky. So let the artist go. But this nigga is wishy-washy and flips on us all the time. So we can't let him know we need him in the strategy. So we just email him myself. LA hits right back. Hey man, come and see me tomorrow. I can't wait to see you. We fly up. I hit Mark. I'm like, I'm going to LA next week. Why? What's going on? LA, Curtis emailed LA somehow, and all of a sudden LA is flying or something. And Mark was like, good for you, man. Go get your money, man.
That's what's up.
But I'm like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to win. That's what and when you get around winners, you realize they're gonna do whatever it takes to win. Thing. So that's why I'm like, you can't complain no more. That's why I act the way I act. Because I'm like, the more you complaining, the more you realizing. I brought up the Deflategate. Tom Brady has cheating on his name at some point, but he's also the greatest quarterback of all fucking time.
All time.
So it's like, at some point in time, those 7 rings kind of drown out the Deflategate. And then sometimes you start thinking to yourself, why didn't anybody else think to do that?
It's funny you say that, because a lot of people feel like to get in this business, you kind of got to be formal, and it's no, man.
No, you got to just be a real motherfucker and just be like
you got to be
like, yo, bro, I don't know you, man, but I'm a fan of yours. I wish you would give me 5 minutes. I'm telling you, that's what you got to be. All that. Hey, man, my name is such and such, and I represent the entertainment company such and such, and I have an artist named such and such. By the time you get to the artist, I forgot your name and the entertainment company.
Yeah.
And now I'm trying to remember the artist name. Like, what's your name again? And it's like, bro.
But important to know, though, that's just authentically who you are. Just be authentically who you are, right? Not everybody has to come with the Ray Daniels type of energy. It could just be you, but you have to be persistent.
You have to know what you want.
You got to know what you want.
And by the way, and what I think most mistakes people make is they remove themselves from the story. See, I know I'm the main character in my own movie. And I know I write the script. And I know, you guys, my team, I'd be like, yo, y'all all a part of my sitcom. Y'all don't know. I'm like, we just trying to figure out who's going to be in every episode. I really believe that, because we should be writing a script to what our life is. I told my team when I wanted to be 3 years ago, I said, this is my goal. The reason why Mike's my manager now, came on the team and run my business, because he called me, he said, this is what I think you should do. And I'm like, damn, that's our plan. Okay, you see me the way I see me. So now you get people around you. I got Rocky on the team. You get people around you that see you the way you see you. See, most of the time, people don't see you the way they see. People don't see you the way they see you. They really just don't want no one else to see you, so no one else can take you from them. So you know what I'm trying to say? So people really be blocking their friends from having blessings, because no one wants that person to, man, if they see you, it's like Life. Remember Life? The kid was playing baseball, they was helping him, and then they can't, the trainer comes and he's like, he's going to the pros. And Martin, his character's like, can I go? He's like, no, he's the player. He's like, well, I coached him. I got other coaches. I'm sorry, we don't need you. Sorry, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you start understanding the world and how it works, man. It really becomes easy to understand that you are not the character in this movie. No one cares about you. Just because you woke up today and decided you want to be an artist doesn't mean the world gonna care. So how are we gonna make them care?
Right.
Reverse engineer. That's magic. That's science to me. Science is where do you want to end up? Now let's reverse engineer. Magic is I'm just gonna be dope and see where it takes me.
But you're talking a lot about stuff. I'm just curious, what are some of your favorite movies? Like, what's your top 3 favorite movies?
That's the hardest question to ever ask me. Because I'm like a movie. Like you can ask my team.
Me too.
Like, I know movies by heart. I mean, like I know the words.
That's how you say Francis Underwood. My favorite movie is Usual Suspects.
I love you. Why?
I just love the story of Kaiser Soze. And Benicio del Toro is one of my favorite actors.
Now here's the crazy part. 20 minutes into the movie, I knew that Kevin Spacey's character was Kaiser Soze.
Because the lineup?
Because of how my mind works.
Okay.
As a kid,
that's crazy because a lot of people don't guess that.
As a kid, even as a kid, I read books from the back.
Oh, I see.
Always start at the end.
Oh, interesting.
I don't really have patience.
What? Oh, okay.
So for me, it's like I'm not here to be shocked and awed. I'm here to understand how it was built. So show me what it is that was built. Oh my God, that's what it is. Now show me where you started, and now I'm interested how I got there.
Oh,
I'm fascinated with building things. So so Godfather is one of my favorite movies, but I use movies.
That's probably like the best movie from me.
So I'm gonna
one or two.
One and then two.
Yeah,
I think two is
phenomenal as well though.
But the story got lost towards like who the guy was, and it was just kind of like it was good, but the story was a little bit more complicated than part one. But I'm a movie guy. Like I give you. So I just tell you scenes and movies I learned from. Right. So movies that affected me. Right. So Ocean's 11. Right.
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies. It's a scene where Brad Pitt's character finds out that Daniel Ocean, George Clooney character, the guy that they was robbing, that they all agreed to rob, was messing with his ex-wife.
That's right.
So he pulls him to the side and he goes, tell me that she's not the reason or I'm quitting.
Right.
And then he tells her the truth. She is the reason. But the house always wins. Unless you get a perfect hand and then you take the house. So for me, it's like, that's how I look at the world. The world is the house. It always wins until we decide that we're going to come together and create a perfect plan, and then we take the house. Mm-hmm. So that's how, like that scene, like this movie came out 2001, 2002.
It's a great movie.
I'm like trying to figure what life is about. I don't know what's going on, but these characters, how they won, because they wasn't the main character in it. Nobody cared about Daniel Ocean in the beginning, but after he took that $300 million, how much he took, everybody wanted to know who he was. So that's how I look at it. Don't get mad that people don't know who you are. They haven't seen the end of the movie that you got planned yet.
Yeah.
They don't know what the ending is going to be. Only you do. So that's the best part. Now you figure out who's with you.
It's funny you talk about that movie on a music podcast because Claire de Lune, I love classical music because of the ending at the fountain at the Bellagio.
Dog,
incredible.
I listen to Frank Sinatra. Because now I can take it deeper. The movie was produced by a guy named Jerry Weintraub, who is really my idol.
You'll know I'm dead when I stop talking.
Yes.
That's the book.
But no, I read the dog.
I know.
Dog. Jerry Weintraub is one of my idols. But so you see what I'm trying to say? This is why for me, this is why I don't. So here's it goes better. So this is why I don't care what people think.
Frank Sinatra in the boxing ring.
Come on, what? You read? Oh, so you know it all.
I know it all, man.
Oh, man. That documentary changed my life.
That's a great documentary.
No. It changed because it was the first time I saw myself. The Star R.A.Y.D.A.R. I tell everybody, Star R.A.Y.D.A.R. Think about that. Now, if you're watching, you ain't seen Jerry Weintraub, you don't know these guys, but he was this guy who basically was one of the super managers. He's charming as fuck.
Yeah.
And his dad was a jewelry salesman. Like he sold like cheap jewelry, right? So what his dad did was he found a rock. He painted it, like cleaned it up real good, put it in a briefcase, put the suitcase on his arm. And yes. And no, that's my life. The Star R.A.Y.D.A.R. He literally says in the documentary, my entire life is based on the Star R.A.Y.D.A.R.
Yeah.
So his dad builds this rock. He calls it the Star R.A.Y.D.A.R. and he puts ads all over the countries this is back in the 30s, 40s. They're like on the train, right? And he puts advertising that the Star R.A.Y.D.A.R. is coming to your city at this time and come see it. So you will line up to see the Star R.A.Y.D.A.R. and the whole time you're there looking at this star. And then when you exit the room, you walked into his jewelry shop. Yeah. So the Star R.A.Y.D.A.R. is how he created his customer.
Yeah.
And he gave it a name, he gave it a brand, he introduced it in that. So he said his whole life was built on that. But that's kind of reverse engineering. What do we want? We need a line of people. Why would a line of people come see my jewelry? They wouldn't. I got to give them something to come see. That's in the same field. Mm-hmm. You should come see the great Star R.A.Y.D.A.R. rock. If you're interested in that, you're probably interested in other little trinkets. You walk through, every city he walked through, he said his dad sold out. So it's like these have been my teachers. So that's why when people, that's why I talk the way I do, because I'm like, maybe I'm somebody's teacher. But all these people have taught me so much about what life is, how it goes, how to win. That's why I don't care what people say. Because when you hear, even Jerry Weintraub's book, he speaks about John Denver and how that was, and I'm like, you know who John Denver is? Okay, but you probably know, I'm leaving on the airplane. Like, I know that one song, but at one point in time, he was the biggest artist in the world.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can't believe it. That doesn't mean he didn't have his day. Bow Wow fans, Bow Wow haters. Like, just because you wasn't around don't mean that it didn't happen. That's what I be trying to get people to see. My thing I be wanting people to see is that times change and don't get caught up into everything. Times change.
Yeah.
Times change. Just because this person in power doesn't mean that person's gonna be in power forever. Just because that person's hot, I mean, Puff Daddy's in jail. Like, times change.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we act like, you know, it's gonna be this, but times change.
Let me ask you something about that, because time's changing, and I've been wanting to ask you this since, you know, even before we met, because again, you manage
Theron.
Yeah. You're in business with Theron.
Yeah.
Do you ever see a world where, and maybe it's already happening and I don't know, but it's like where the songwriter is also owning the master? Do you guys do that type of business?
God. Bro, I was, when I started with the audition, that's how it goes.
Okay.
See, I'm different. I'm a businessman. I don't want to charge you. Like, I believe, and I'm gonna let you test drive the car before I tell you how much it costs. But it's gonna cost you. Because guess what? You might not even care after you test drive it.
Right.
I don't give a fuck how much it's cost. I don't like this shit. Or you might be like, it's cool. My family, everybody know everything I do is based on cost. I see a shirt, then that's a nice shirt. I'll pay $75 for that. If it's under 75, I'm buying it. If it's over 75, if it's 85, maybe. If it's 115, no. I tell myself what I'm willing to pay for everything I walk into before. My girls, everything, my car, I pay $115,000 for that. I'm not paying 130. Like, everything I do is based
Before
on,
you even know the price?
Bruh, it's based on me. My life is based on me. Do I want that? I don't care if it's for free. Do I want it?
Right.
So for me, that's how I look at everything. It's like, you know, just gotta just pay attention, man. I just think most people are just living and not thinking about like themselves. Like, bro, my favorite person to talk to in the world is me. I talk to me all the time.
That's who we're always talking to the most, right?
Bro, you don't understand. Like, I love talking to myself. I love paying attention. I'm a Knicks fan. I don't know if anybody know that, but I'm a Knicks fan. So this is how my mind works. I thought we was going to the finals. You know, obviously we're not. I'm a diehard Knicks fan.
Yeah,
we didn't, but you know, when they didn't, when I saw them lose, my thought process wasn't, man, we lost. My thought process was, what lesson is God trying to tell us to learn right now? What do God want us to learn from this, right? Honestly, that's how my mind works. If something goes bad, I'm not, why did that happen? Nah, what are we supposed to learn from this?
What was the lesson?
What is God showing us every day? That's all I say.
Yeah.
Like, what do you say? If you went out, like, it's like when me and you was downstairs, it's like, yo, isn't it overwhelming? You go out and people are like, hey, and you like, what is God showing? You know what God is showing you? You're on the right path, son.
Yeah.
Don't forget, you're on the right path. This is my confirmation. Now that you came out, dip your head out, everybody's clap, hey, okay, now you can put your head back down and work harder now because you know it's working. That's all I've been doing for 3 years. I haven't even been trying to figure out how to go big because I'm like, everybody want to go big so fast. By the way, that's why I love Hope so much. He took his time.
Yeah.
The later you get in life, the later you win. Some people be rushing to win. The later the wins come, the longer they last.
Nah, you know, there's always that thing where people say it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. I always say it's a triathlon. You got to understand way more than running in this business.
My triathlete is in here right now. My lady's a triathlete. So
there you go.
So she's preaching that. You going, he said triathlete. I'm telling you, I'm better than LeBron. No, he was like, okay.
Amazing. But that's, same here. You just take your time day by day.
And to me,
and that's the one thing, sorry, not to cut you off, but I just want to say that, like, why I appreciate what you do is that I think people get it confused because folks might say that you have the hot takes, right? Which is fine. But I don't think what people need to do is really look behind that and be like, what's the work that this guy's doing? Why am I seeing him everywhere? What's going on here?
This is how mine works. Why does it work there? But it goes back to how I look at sports. What made me panic for the Knicks, what made me really panic was Brian Windhorst, who I watched, and he was like,
Wendy,
everybody's like the Knicks, and Brian Windhorst goes, he does that thing. I'm just gonna say this, is that Rick Carlisle is a great coach, and he might give up the first game just to get to this. And I was so interested by that I'm like, yeah, we're gonna have to lose it. We're probably gonna have to lose our coach because our coach is not an innovator. I just remember thinking that, and then so be it, we lose. Then the next day, fire coach. So that's how my mind works. I'm like, the journey. It's like, I not only do I enjoy the journey, I try to predict it now.
Okay.
What I think is gonna happen tomorrow? What do you think happened if we showed up today? And like, this trip was a journey for us. We had no Only thing we had planned for this trip was the radio room on Saturday for BET.
Right.
I could have flown by my fucking self that same day, took an Uber to the radio room, did the radio room, left at 4 p.m., went right back to the airport, been home and did my job. No, I flew my team out here. We made it because it's like, let's go out there and create a journey. Let's just see. And I ran into you and then we landed and Jack is like, yo, you know, such. I'm like, well, I want to do that. And then the schedule is busy. I'm like, yo, I don't, ask the team. I'm like, I don't care about anything. That's one that I want to do.
Yeah, same.
Like put that one on my schedule. So then,
appreciate that.
But that's what I'm saying. Like to me, I just say embrace adventure. And adventure is ups and downs. Adventure is not just all fun.
Nope.
It's ups and downs. Embrace adventure and learn from it.
Absolutely.
Be the adventurous that's like, I know how this shit works. Like that's why I'm like, dog, this is the happiest I've ever been because I'm on a journey that no one can take from me. No disrespect to nobody I've ever worked with.
No.
At any given point, they could have been like,
I can
I'm
relate.
done.
I can relate.
I don't want to work with you no more. And by the way, and because I'm on this journey and because I know who I am, everybody with me feels safe because they know my favorite thing to do is to pay my people.
That's, yo, man.
My favorite thing to do is to pay my people because it's like, because my thing is I want people who pay me show me how much they appreciated me. I want to show you how much I appreciate you.
Yeah.
But just imagine if you had people that was like, you just paid me, now I'm going to show you how much I appreciate you for believing in me to pay me.
You know what's crazy? I used to work in film. Like I told you, I had a music video production company back in Canada. We ended up growing, doing like 3 billion views.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We did. My company did like Best Part of Daniel Caesar and
Nice.
Her, Low Life Weekend. Like we were looking at everybody.
Nice.
I had all of Jesse's videos for a certain point in time, but I can't remember the first time I got a check from a label or a company or whatever. But I can remember the first crew member that I ever paid, and his name was Chris Moresby, and he did camera. $450. And when I wrote that check to that person, it was the best feeling I ever had because I was being able to provide for his family.
I'm like, you came to see me, and I created an opportunity for you could feed your family.
Yeah.
And to me, it's nothing more rewarding to me than that.
Yeah,
like
And
knowing.
I think that's why it brings you so much joy to do what you do with the podcast.
Yeah.
You putting it behind the paywall, I think is smart, but you still gonna be giving game.
I'm putting. So my thought process is, the reason I said this is one of my last music interviews, it's probably my last, I just can't think of nobody else I want to do and talk about music, right? But my thing is that the information that we're given is so valuable. It goes back to what I said, like think about that. That little scene in Ocean 11 changed my life. Like think about it, I can name 100 other scenes, I can name 100 other lyrics and songs that changed my life.
Yeah.
So and I'm like, damn, I have the ability to do the same thing. It's such an honor.
Yeah.
It's such an honor to be like people pray for people like us. So that nothing feels better than knowing I'm doing God's work and I'm enjoying it. It's like,
and enjoying it.
God, I love this. And if I say something crazy, that's cool because the whole concept I looked at is that who said the Jay-Z versus $500,000 dinner? Somebody said that.
Right.
Now how my mind works is Jay-Z or All Saints wardrobe for free.
Right.
Now everybody knows Jay-Z is. What's All Saints? Well, hold on, what is that? I believe that, like, I don't know, I don't want to take too much credit, but when my man sent me the flyer with Bow Wow name on it, I gotta believe that part of that is because what I said about Jay-Z versus him. Bow Wow FaceTime me like, nigga, everybody's hitting me about this. And I'm like, and it's like,
that took off like that was like within a week? Less?
I dropped this shit like, I think that's like 2 days ago, 3 days
It's
ago.
3 days ago?
They're like,
wow.
Yeah, we just filmed the episode Wednesday. And Tuesday, and I got the clip Wednesday, but literally, we just filmed it Tuesday, and that's what I love. I'm like, just look at that, y'all. We just filmed the show Tuesday, and all of a sudden, we got a culture talking. Don't take this shit for granted. Focus on being better. Focus on being like, dog, I'm a Virgo. My only thing I care about is greatness. My only thing I focus on is greatness. Only thing I chase is greatness. And the only reason I chase greatness is because if you chasing it, you know you will never fucking catch it. But
that's
you will fucking, but when you look back, when you stop and look back and everybody's like, that Forrest Gump moment where he was running, he just running because he wanted to run. Then he stopped and looked back and all the people behind you, that's the moment you have.
That's a good metaphor.
That's the moment you have. I tell people, I'm like, I swear to God, bro, I started talking on the podcast because I wanted a job. That's all it was.
Really?
That's all it was. I wanted a job. I didn't even check. Okay, so here's what happens. So I wrote a letter called Dear White Music Execs. in 2000, right?
Okay.
It went viral. It was on the front cover of Billboard. It was a big
Before
deal.
viral was viral.
This was viral. Like, this was crazy. It was like
2000?
2020.
Sorry, okay.
During the pandemic.
Okay.
2020, I wrote a letter called Dear White Music Exec. It was on the front cover of Billboard. And I was basically saying, here's the experience of being black in the music industry. Because what happened was, Aaron Bashuk at the time I was working at Warner, and he basically does an emergency call. And he's like, so they like, if anybody knows in the label business, when they want to do an emergency call, they usually give you a day or two for everybody to get their stuff. Well, if they need to do a company call, they usually give you a day or 2, 3. But this time they was like, everybody get on the Zoom in 15 minutes. What? So I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Mm-hmm.
So I get on the Zoom, and Aaron is like, hey, is anybody all okay from this George Floyd thing? And I'm like, what? Is that, we talking about George Floyd on a work call? So he says at the end of the call, he says to any black employees, if you guys want to talk, the floor is yours. We just want to hear you. And I got so mad at him because he's my friend. I got so mad at him because I'm like, motherfucker, nobody's black is going to speak up. It's a miracle we're here. It's a fucking miracle I'm here.
Uh-huh.
So then I write a letter to him. Again, I write a letter to him basically saying, yo, here's what it's like, as a friend. And then I sent it to a couple friends. I sent it to a couple people at Warner, right? Like, yo, y'all want to put your name on this? Because I'm just really saying, it's not my experience, it's the black experience. They was like, nah, you got it. Oh, okay. I'm still lost, bro. I'm still like, because the only thing that matters to me is intent. Intent is the most important thing in the world to me. If I'm trying to help you and I hurt you, you hurt me. I was trying to help. Now, I won't try to help anymore, but my intent was to help. I'm sorry I hurt. You feel me? So intention is everything to me. So I wrote the letter and I sent it to them. They was like, nah, you put that on yourself. So I basically sent it to a couple friends. A couple friends was like, yo, you need to send this to Billboard. I'm like, really? I was gonna send it to them. Nah, this is bigger than them. This is bigger than you. This letter has to go out. So it goes out, it goes viral. And then shit hits the fan. And then it goes out anonymously. And then I stand on it because it went crazy. And then a lot of people from other races was like, I can't respect it because he didn't put his face on it.
Mm.
So I put my face on it. And then it was like, they all called me. And then it's funny because this is just important to say. I didn't even plan on telling a story, but it's important to say. When I wrote the letter, it was really a major moment for me. And all my black friends were telling me, thank you. Man, Ray, thank you for that, man. You really, man, I have black people calling me crying. Like, man, you really helped put a light on us. Thank you for that. And I have my white friends telling me, go get paid. They're going to ask you what you want, get paid. Why would I get paid off of, I didn't write this letter to get paid. I just wrote this letter to show people what it's like, what I dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
So I meet with the guys at Warner. They're like, hey, what do you want? What do you want? We just want to make you happy. And I'm like, I don't want nothing, guys. I didn't write the fucking letter. I just wrote the letter. This is not my story. This is our black story. So anyway, they was like, well, we love you. And here's the bad part. You've been in the business. So I usually tell people not in business and they don't understand it. But in our business, when you're on a contract, they usually give you 6 months out before they're about to renew or before they're about to let you go, right?
Yep.
Those guys told me and my attorney for 11 months, Ray is our guy. The last 11 months of my contract, he's our guy. Don't take him nowhere. He's the only, we need him. And then 3 days before my contract was supposed to be sent to me, they was like, oh, nothing's coming.
Really? After you wrote that?
Well, I found out it was the letter. I wrote the letter 2 years before that. They was just waiting.
Oh.
They was just waiting
to
let me go.
Okay.
So, or not renew my contract rather, right?
Okay.
So it was one of them things where I was like, damn. So now, it puts me in a bad position because you know how this business goes. Everybody wants you when they think somebody wants you, but as soon as you get let go, they like, what happened? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
So I didn't want to go ask for a job.
Yeah,
damaged goods. So I was like, you know what? Somebody just asked me a question because my thought process was, if they see I'm in Atlanta, that's another thing that makes it hard. I'm not a New York or LA guy. So, New York or LA, you could fall into a check. I'm in Atlanta. You got to get out there. So I just started putting content of me talking about the business out there. And it's like the business got scared of me. You know who actually helped me? Puff. On God. It was Puff Daddy. He posted me. I'd never met the man. I don't even know him. He posted me. Well, I met him, but he met me as Theron's manager. He probably didn't know who Theron is, right? So I met him, but he posted me and was like, this guy is spitting. Ray, I don't know you all, but you're, and then he left me on his page for 2 weeks, just me.
What was the post?
About R&B being dead.
Okay.
I was like, basically R&B is this. So he really helped it. And then my peers start coming in fucking with me. Then they start saying, I want to do the show. So for me, it's like, and by the way, I don't take nothing personal, but basically, this is how I describe my life. This is how I describe my life. I was outside with a bullhorn, outside of the 3 buildings saying, man, if artists need to do this to win, labels need to do this to win. And I was hoping that they were seeing me. And then I turned around and there was a whole group of people behind me like, we see you. I'm like, well, damn, let me just talk to them now. So that's why I was like, fuck music. I just let it go. Cause like the one thing that's disappointing is to love something you can't control. It's to love something you can't, like you love it. It's like I love the Knicks. I can't control them. It's painful. It's like, shit. I'm being honest. It's really, cause it's like I love them and I want to see them win so bad, but I don't have no control. So it's painful. So you got to have a different relationship with it. Like, you are what you are. I'll come to you when I want to feel good, but when I'm not, I'll go over here. But yeah, man, it's just a lot, man. Like, but so basically, I wrote the letter. I basically was blackballed. And then the artist that I signed, his manager was shitting on me, telling people bad shit about me. I don't even know why.
Wait, the artist that you signed?
The artist that, so it's a famous artist I signed. I don't want to say his manager name because he's a bitch to me. But he was basically going around telling everybody bad shit about me, like Reyes, he's against people. So now I got him destroying my name. And he's managing the artist that I signed. That's kind of like my claim to fame.
Oh, right,
but they got him destroying my name because they told him I said something in the meeting that I thought was a compliment. I was basically trying to make the label see. I'll tell you, I was trying to make the label see. So the label was basically like, they sit A&Rs down and they go, Ray, we need a hit.
Right.
And I'm like, I mean, I make hits for a living, but it's hard to make a hit when we just gave this kid all his money and he has all the stuff and he has full reins and you guys want me to do it. Now, I don't mind doing it, but you guys have to have my back. Don't send me in there and I go become Joe Clark on his ass and be like, this is what we gonna do. And then he come tell y'all, I don't like my A&R. Then you be like, fuck you. That happens.
Of course.
So I'm like, yo, just have my back. So I had all these things weighing on me and I just went online and I just started talking. And I feel more powerful than I did. And fuck all of them. Fuck everybody. Everybody was thanking me when I fucking wrote the letter, did nobody stand up when they did me dirty? And I understand why. I ain't gonna fuck my money up for you, Ray. So then Ray gotta say, well, I can't fuck my money up for you either then. So now you gotta act like, you know what I'm trying to say? So you start understanding where you gotta focus.
Yeah.
So I start focusing on me and mine.
People. Yeah.
And shit is good.
Yeah.
If I don't focus on it, dog, my phone don't ring no more. Nobody calls me unless they need Theron. I love it. Don't be my friend. I don't want to be friends with people that are only transact. I'm a real fucking friend, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Like if I fuck with you, bro, if I fuck with you, bro, I fuck with you.
Yeah.
And those people I fuck with. But dog, do you understand that my mother was a school bus driver making $2,000 a month? My mother drove Usher. Usher rode my mother's school bus when he was at elementary school. Now I make hits for the nigga. You know what the fuck that mean to me as a man? My mother was driving school buses. Like, that's where I come from. Why would you want to hurt me? My thing is, I don't want to hurt nobody. If I heard you did some foul shit, I'm calling you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem with the game. A nigga heard you did some foul shit, he gonna call everybody but you. Why you ain't call me and tell me what I did?
Right.
You don't want, because you want me to be the bad guy. You need me to be the bad guy. Then it start telling you your power. Then it start telling you your power that you have. Like, damn, why is everybody coming after me? Damn, God, I need to stop and listen. Maybe you telling me I'm more powerful than I thought I was. Then I start a podcast and I step outside and people's like, you changed, oh my God. I'm like, wow, maybe I gotta trust the journey. I thought I had to control it when I should trust it. So I just trust it, I enjoy it, and it's the most fun I had in my life. And for me, my agency is taking off. I got clients coming in. What I'm doing on the amplification side, shit is good. Like, all I can do.
You good, man.
What else could you worry about? And not only that, it's very important to say, I'm gonna take my glasses off. Nobody's a better scientist at this shit than me. That's why I can say what I say about Bow Wow, and none of these industry niggas want to argue with me on record. That's why these niggas whisper around me. They don't want to talk to me because I have a spirit. God has put something in me that y'all can't stop. I don't even know what it is, but I don't want to use it for bad. I want to help us.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all are intimidated by something that I have that you don't. And the only reason I could recognize it because when I was a kid, I felt the same way about some people. And then I found out my purpose, and now I'm like, I don't feel like that no more. So I get it. So I'm not mad at it, but I'm not gonna let you use it against me.
Right.
I'm gonna just keep going forward. Simple as that.
Blinders on. Ray, I appreciate you, man.
Thank you, brother.
This is a good conversation, man.
Thank
you so much for spending the time.
I've been wanting to talk to you, man, because keep doing it, man. And
thank you.
And my thing to you, I'll tell you is we're men. And in today's society, women have a huge voice in there. I'm not mad at it. I love that.
For sure.
But we're men. And when you coaching as a man, sometimes you got to coach hard.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you got to push hard. My whole thing is let's not stop doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep pushing the culture forward. Let's say what you can do better because that's how you win.
Yeah, absolutely.
We did this today. What are we going to do tomorrow? What we gonna do the next day? And next thing you know, you just an over fucking achiever who can, dog, me and Theron compete to see who can make the most each other, who can make the most money.
And it's crazy because sometimes people's society now look down on overachievers. It's like it's a sin, which is like, come on, man.
They call them pick-me niggas. We're so fucked up. If a nigga try, but niggas like, I'm a great man, I'll take you out, I cook, I love my family. Oh, pick me, nigga. Sit down. It's like, that's society we live in. Effort is whacking our society.
Yeah, I mean.
And we gotta stop that
I'm
shit.
Latino, that happens as well too.
Exactly. Effort, it can't be. Latino. My brother.
He knows. You know, it happens with us too, man.
Yeah.
Fortunately, but you know, it's gotta be a different generation that thinks differently.
But to me, it has to be led by, it has to have masculine voices.
Yeah.
Because a woman's voice is nurturing. A man's voice is supposed to be a little different. It's like, that's why they say, don't let me call daddy. Because daddy ain't talking. You gonna fucking do this or that's it. Right? And I think that society needs more of that. Music needs more of that. The artists need to be scared of their CEO. I don't want to piss them off. I know that sounds crazy, but that's how them younger artists was. And that's why they was blown up, because they knew their CEO was gonna take them to the top. Now CEOs can't take you to the top. They don't even know what the fuck to do. Call your, and by the way, there's one thing I'm gonna say this for your platform. The music business, we're gonna know the music business is doing good when they get rid of the distribution fee.
It's gone now though, in a lot of places. If you have the leverage and you do a licensing deal,
if you can take the leverage, you can do a licensing deal, but
yeah,
they'll go down from 20% to 17, 16. So and for the record, when everybody needs to understand what the distribution fee is, when they would put your record out back in the day, they would
that's the biggest fucking finesse.
That's the biggest finesse. That's how I know finesse. They don't. That's how I know
bullshit.
They don't want to see us eat, because
because distribution back in the day, I mean, you could tell
had to physically press it. So back in the day, back in the day when you had put an artist out, new artists, success artists, then you had to ship to stores. You had to pay for the product, and if the product didn't sell, they shipped it back to you.
Yeah,
exactly. Right? So that's why they charge you a distribution fee. That they had a warehouse, they had to pay it, everything. Now they just press a button to upload it, and they still keep the same 20% charge.
Yeah.
And so that means when people talk about labels taking 85-15, when people say that, that's 85-15 after they take their 20 off the top.
Yes.
Just to distribute music. Now 80 is left, and they take 85% of that and give you 15% of that 80.
Well, what you can do now, if you do have the leverage, you tell them, obviously you're not taking the masters, it's a license deal of the masters, so you can own it and you could say, but now instead you could say, you can actually get away with a 70-30 or 60-40 in the favor of the artist, and take the distribution.
No, I have that, but they still do it. They still do it.
No, they're always going to fight for it.
It's a mandate.
They're always going to fight for it.
When I worked at a label, the mandate was at no time do we ever give away the distribution fee. That's how they think.
Yeah,
I know we sure.
I mean, I'll talk about this all day. But I know you got to get out of here. But it's funny because
the distribution fee though.
I had in 2016 while all that stuff was happening and everything. I remember having a bunch of conversations. Somebody said to me, and we put out records independently. One record independently went crazy, and then we had everybody coming to me. And I remember, I'll never forget this one conversation. I'm like, I don't know what you can offer us that we're not already doing. And he's like, well, we have distribution. I said, so do I. It's called the internet.
Everybody does.
Lost his fucking mind in the meeting, but Ray, thank you so much for doing this, man. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, man.
No, thank you.